What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to drumroll, because I forgot to put it on. Behind the Ramble. Yay, yay. We're back. We are back with a Rivals watch along. I'm going to cough. Excuse me. We're here to see two of Sheffield United's closest rivals this season. Burnley versus Sunderland. Who do we want to win? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't think, maybe if we were 10 games further on, we'd be able to have a clear favourite for this. But I think there's both advantages for either side winning and also for the draw. So that makes for good viewing. I don't know if you feel the same. If you've got a preference, you might have a favourite as to who you think would win. I think Sunderland is so strong this season, but you can't look past Burnley's defensive record. So all these 2-3-0 Sunderlands that I've been seeing online, I just think they'll have to go really well. They'll have to go really well. And they can. They've got the capability of doing it. Oh, if you knew what kind of day I'd had today, just super busy, all sorts of stuff ongoing and in the pipeline. And wow. I've literally had 10 minutes with my girls. I got in at 7:15, 10 minutes with my girls. We hadn't seen all day because I were out of the house at 6:30. And then I'm back. And we're straight on. How about that for commitment, eh? I've been watching this anyway. That's the beauty of these. Yes, it's on the second channel behind the Ramble to try and test out the sort of vibe for it, if you guys like it or not, if it's something that you'd be interested in us moving over to the main channel, because we can do that. But it's also getting some good watch numbers on the second channel as well. So yeah, what's your thoughts tonight? Let me have a little look and see what people are saying. Nige, good evening, mate. Evening, Jimmy. Great stream last night. Connor couldn't disagree with anything you said. Looked as though there's big movement regarding Cannon, so hopefully done soon. Does it concern you about Diaz and Chowdhury, though, at the minute, considering they were supposedly done deals? Unless we're looking to buy them. I've seen something about Doyle too, so very interesting at the minute. I have to say, Nige, I've seen little bits today. Obviously, the Cannon news is all but confirmed, which I think is a real positive. I did get to see snippets of Chrissy Wilder's press conference, which, again, really positive. He reiterated that all of our top targets, he is very confident, will be coming to us or want to come to us, and he's really happy with where we are. So he confirmed that there's a bid in for Cannon. He wouldn't do that if we weren't at the final stages of it. And he wouldn't be saying he's very confident of signing him if it weren't done, in my opinion. I've seen some chat. I've tried to keep up with some of the chat messages, but honestly, there must have been 600 today with people going back and forth on different transfer rumours. So some disappointed. I see you, Scott. Some disappointed with Chowdhury. What is that about? Because we've been linked to Charles and Tommy Doyle. Look, I think with these things, what we have to understand, and I know we do, but it's easy to run away with yourself sometimes. We have to understand that we will have a main target in mind. And if that doesn't work out, we will have to have plan B and plan C. Now, it doesn't always mean that plan A is the best player. Plan B might be a much better player, but a lot more expensive, so a riskier move for the club, for example. So if you take Chowdhury and Shea Charles, for example, Hamza Chowdhury might not be of the same level as Shea. I really rate Hamza Chowdhury, so this is probably a poor example, but it's real terms with what we're dealing with. Hamza Chowdhury might be a deal that we really want to get done because it fits with the budget. It fits with the profile of player that we want in terms of another ball winner in the middle that's really strong in the tackle, that's proven at championship level. Or if we can't get him, we might have to look at somebody like Shea Charles, who might cost a bit more money. Might be a higher loan fee involved. There might be higher wages involved. All these sort of considerations. And he's not a hardened and proven championship player. He's had half a good season with them lot. So there's loads of things to put into the mix. And then you throw Tommy Doyle in, who's probably more expensive than both. And some might say he's a better player, but we haven't got an endless pot of money to throw around. So it's likely, very likely, we've had conversations about all three. And we know that Chowdhury has already been a deal that's been talked about and talked up for a long time. So I would still have my, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, and if you are, bet responsibly, please, I would still be confident in Hamza Chowdhury and Ben Brereton Diaz coming to Sheffield United. That's just an assumption and a gut feeling more than anything else, because we have been there before with these deals, and it's more a game of chess now. And Wilder described it as a game of poker, didn't he, earlier? So I think Tom Cannon is more or less a done deal, and that'll be a permanent. He talked about wanting to fill the 3 loan spots, which means even if Chowdhury and BBD come in as the loans, we've still got a spare loan to use. We are going to be so much stronger when we need a centre half, don't we? We need a centre back really desperately, to me. Stephen says a draw would do nicely. Yeah, I agree with that, to be fair. Look, I think we talked about it very briefly at the start. If Burnley win, so at the minute, I should have got a table up, so apologies for that. But Burnley are on 52. So Leeds are on 53, top. Burnley on goal difference are second because they've got 52 points. We've got 52 points because we had 2 taken off. And Sunderland have got 50. So obviously they're playing first. So after tonight, they'll have played a game more than us and Leeds. So whatever happens tonight, Burnley can either go to 55 points, which takes them to top at league temporarily. But if we win tomorrow, we'll go into second. And then it'll be up to Leeds whether they can beat the Wendy's or not. So we'll both be on 55 points. But Burnley could go up to 55. Sunderland could knock us down to 4th by going to 53. But that means Burnley also drop down to 3rd. And it sort of bunches everybody right up. Or a draw. Obviously, they both gain a point. So it'd be status quo in the league in terms of Burnley would stay second, but they would now have a point more than us and 1 point behind Leeds. Sunderland would move to within a point of us, but we've got a game in hand then. So maybe if we're being super critical, a draw would be good. I think probably the next best result for Sheffield United, in all honesty, is a Burnley win. And I know that might sound daft, but if Sunderland stay on 50 points, Burnley win tonight, and then we win tomorrow, then we move 5 points clear of Sunderland, and it starts to knock them away from this 4-horse race and move it into a 3. So I'm interested to hear what you think and what you prefer tonight. Cole says, and is your collab with the club that you're signing for us, Jim Bob? If you can play centre-back, we'd probably take you. I wish, mate. I wish. Can you imagine running out on Bramall Lane and pulling that red and white shirt on? It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think, no, not a chance. Or if you can kick a ball in a straight line, you can take Brewster's place while we're at it. Harsh. Right, bid accepted. He wants to get it done quickly and is excited to work under Wilder. You've been reading X again, haven't you, Ryan? Nah. He's a blade and he's a blade. Get that Canon camera out, Jimbo. I ain't got a Canon camera. I've got a Sony camera. Can do that for you. Thanks to Michael Needham. Evening, Jimmy. Looking forward to this, says Holly. Sorry, I've been quiet, but I've been watching. It's all right, mate. Listen, you don't have to comment every stream. It's nice when I get to chat to you. But no, it's not a Canon. If someone has to win, I would say Sunderland, but I want a draw. Interesting, Rich. And it's because Mrs. Ramble wants a TV to herself. Mrs. Ramble's nipped out tonight, actually. Let me know the other TV. I've just turned the heater off because when I got in here, it was freezing. This is where you all are. Yes, that's right. That's right. We're all in here now, Nige. We're all in here. Listen, Ramble announcement. Internet. I don't think, I might be wrong, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think now that we have any streaming concerns. Touch wood. I got a new router and a booster came through yesterday, and ever since, it's been hunky of dory. So, Dry Bry, good evening, mate. He says 1-1 tonight, pal. I need to catch up with you tomorrow, don't I? To have a chat with what we had a call about yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Chowdhury would be great for us, said the Saint. I agree. That Scott towards me? No, not you, Scott. Scott in our chat. Scott that's still in our chat, not that ditched us and left. Unbelievable. No, Scott knows who I'm talking about. Doubt Doyle would come, as he seems to be playing. I agree with that, Rich. I agree. Yeah, I think it. I think the Doyle ones are more of a red herring, to be honest. Get Shea just for pure bants. Scott says, issue with having Chowdhury and Sousa in the same team means we have two destroyers in the middle. I'd like Sousa to have a Norwood type next to him, someone that can spray the ball from deep. I don't always think it's a necessity. It could, to be honest, it probably depends on the opponent. I think if he can get to the levels that we've seen him in the Championship, then he's a top Championship midfielder. I think when everybody's fit, he's the first reserve behind Arblaster and Vinny. And that's tough on Tom Davies and especially Sidney Peck, who's done the job for the majority of the season. But we all of a sudden, obviously Arblaster's not going to be fit, but we would all of a sudden then have some real competition in there. I don't mind having two ball winners in the six. I think that's the ideal, really. You want them to both be able to win the ball. Steve Holmes has talked about it in our chat, and I agree with him. Two ball winners, and then just pass it to the three in front, and just give it to them, the ball carriers. And that should. It sounds too simplistic, but sometimes that's all it needs to be. Omobamidele is my ideal Suter replacement. However, I've heard Forest want a permanent deal and will likely want their money back. So a bid of 10+ million. We're not going to do that. I mean, look, I said that about Cannon, that we won't go past 10 million. And it looks like we've gone to 10 plus 3, which is great. But I don't think we'll do it twice in one window. I'll be amazed. Maybe a loan with an obligation on promotion might be the one to get that one done. Again, with Omobamidele, I haven't seen enough of him to have a firm opinion. I know he was a great prospect at Norwich. Looked raw, but very good. Quick, strong, athletic. Great. That's, it ticks a lot of boxes already. I'm sure he can play. Very young. Not really forced his way in at Forest, but Premier League's a different beast, isn't it? So I don't think there's a lot to go on to rate him at that sort of money. Obviously, that's what Forest paid. But it'll be an interesting one to see what happens there, Scott. Craig, I think Burnley will beat Sunderland. Run out of gas near the end, up the Blades, up behind the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Yeah, could grind them down. We've seen Burnley do that to a lot of teams. They beat us. They beat Leeds. Can they beat Sunderland? Turf Moor is a really tough place to go in it. So you sprint teams up, and I will go through the teams before kickoff. We've got 15 minutes. Enzo Lafay's in the starting 11, by the way. They're interviewing him now. Statement signing that in it from Sunderland. Holly, I heard the Wolves manager doesn't want him and wants a sale. How about Tommy Doyle? He has been getting minutes, though, hasn't he? So it'd be interesting that. Would want a centre-back on a permanent, as we need a solid back line for the coming season, not just the next 20 games. It's difficult, though, Rich, isn't it, to get somebody that can bridge the gap between both levels. And Omobamidele might be that man, but I can't see us paying another 8-figure sum out on a permanent. I just can't see it. And this may be a new era that we happily will get used to, us splashing the cash a little bit. We've never really done it as a club other than with that one season with Premier League money. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Up the Blade says, fella on radio, Chef says he's heard Chowdhury has been released by Leicester due to alleged misdemeanours. No, not heard anything about it. But to be fair, as I say, up the Blades, I've been out of the loop today for the vast majority. Snowed under, to be honest. So, no, I would be absolutely amazed. To be honest, if you're Leicester and you know somebody wants to take him and is willing to either pay or cover his wages, why would you release him? That doesn't make sense to me. You'd let somebody else pay the money, wouldn't you? Burnley win tonight, in my opinion, says the same. Best result is a draw, right? Says Jack. Yeah, ultimately, I think probably is, but it's not as simplistic as you'd think. I think there's bonuses to any connotation of tonight. So somebody's going to drop points, which is good for us and Leeds. 2 perms. Hopefully one of them is a centre-back, says Jack. Yeah, I'd love a centre-back on a permanent. 1-1 tonight, Jimmy, says Dom. No doubt in my mind. I hope you're right, pal. I hope you're right. I won't mind that at all. Not Blades related, says Kyle, but been impressed with Oxford's recruitment lately. Yeah, good shout, that. Who have they recruited? They've got Tom Bradshaw. Let's have a look at Oxford, because you're mentioning it, Kyle, so I think it's worth having a look, pal. Oxford transfers in. And I think I'm interested because Gary Rowett's made a good start at Oxford. So let's have a little quick look and see. Because now I've got internet that works. It's nice to be able to do this. So, I don't tell you the date they came in, which is disappointing. Okay, maybe I can't look at that just yet. I don't want to spend too long on it. But yeah, I know they've signed Tom Bradshaw, which I was really impressed with. You have to let me know some other names that they've got. Burnley 2-0, says the Saint. He says, well, the stream is stuck. It wasn't, was it? Was it really? Joe, don't do that to me. Don't do that. It might just be your end, because I have got a full signal and I ain't afraid to use it. Full Wi-Fi, baby. It looks like it's filming on a Nokia 3310. Are you joking? For the 30 seconds, it did ghost touch it. Oh, are you joking? Oh, my God. Well, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, hang on. I don't know why that's happened. Okay, Cole says, do you think Cannon would be announced at the game tomorrow, Jimmy? Much like what we did with Hamer and Macca last season. Cannonballers into the second half of the season. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be really good to, like a boost before kickoff. I probably think it'll be done. Oh, it could do, because Swansea's an away game, isn't it? I was going to say it might be done like Monday, just to get everybody hyped up for the Swansea game. But yeah, it could be. If it's done in time, it could well be. Would love a Doyle type, says Kyle. We've really underachieved from set pieces this season. One of my criticisms. Completely agree. Both ends as well. I don't think we've been strong enough defensively at set pieces, even though our defensive record overall is good. We should be dominating in our area due to the size we've had in the team. I get Harry Souttar's gone back now, so it takes away a little bit. But attacking set plays, we should be a real threat, and we're just not, are we? No need for that, Rich. Seen someone make a fake rumour up about Liverpool monitoring Tom Davies. I did see that picture come through, actually. What a joke that is, by the way. I've heard Scene Cannon should be done this week, and apparently possibly 3 more next week and 1 more close to the end of the window. Have you heard the same? I've heard that it's going to be 2 perms and 3 loans, hopefully. But again, lots of moving parts, Scott. Lots of moving parts, mate. So just exciting times, isn't it? After people were getting understandably a bit nervous about it. All it needs is a Chris Wilder press conference, isn't it? And we all, as long as we win tomorrow, a draw in this game would be ideal for us, says Ray. Yeah, we've just got to do our business, haven't we? One of them's going to drop points tonight, so it's going to be enjoyable to watch whatever happens. And us winning tomorrow is the key. We have to do our job. Jimmy, any plans for the new cop pillars getting done at the minimum soon? Please say yes. Don't know, mate. Not spoken to the new ownership at all as yet. Watch this space. Would you maybe see if Tanganga could be available on a cheap perm? I would. I don't think Sheffield United will. I think he's going to cost a pretty penny, to be honest. And I know it's Millwall who aren't necessarily cash rich, but he's doing a very good job for him there. And I just can't see it. But I might be wrong. Still stick by what I said in the summer, Jimmy. Kipre would be amazing and fit like a glove. I don't think that's a bad shout at all, Cole. Particularly for what... Is he better than what we've got, though? We're talking about improving our 11, aren't we? Everybody that we're linked with, I think, has a shout of being in the 11. I'm not sure. And I know I give Jack Robinson some stick. But is Keeper that much better than Jack Robinson? I'm not sure. I think he's a good championship defender. But Rich earlier was saying, and I agree, and there'll be a lot of people that do as well, we should really have half an eye on next season. Whether that's in the Prem or in the Championship, we should have half an eye on somebody that fits into us. Like we're doing with Tom Cannon, 22-year-old. So it's a great investment because we know he's proven at the level. I think the only result across the board is draws all around, says Neil, and the Blades win tomorrow. And I would like Doyle back. He, for me, is a young Norwood. He can tackle and make that pass. He's a very good player at this level, isn't he? Tommy Doyle. Yeah, I certainly won't be upset with it, Neil. Won't be upset with it at all. Just on the why you're saying that Leeds drawing as well would be a good result. I was going to be doing a watch along. A watch along on Sunday for that game. Oh, no thanks. But I was going to do it anyway, and I was committed to doing it. I did the thumbnail, I set the stream up, but I've just had to remove it because I completely forgot. But it's my daughter's birthday party. We're there for about 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to have time to do the stream. And the only thing that comes before the ramble is my family. So I've cancelled that, and I'm going to be at a 9th birthday party at Laser Quest or Laser Zone, wherever it's called. So yeah, looking forward to that. Joe says, believe Wolves manager said about him, he went missing when they lost 3 or 4-0. Forgot who against. I actually really like Charles and think I'd have him as first choice with his great defensive stats, but also drives forward. I agree. I think Shea Charles, out of the 3, is the most intriguing of the 3 signings, to be honest. And I think that's, I was giving Scott in our Platinum chat some stick for saying, oh, no, I won't have him. Let's hope it's not a permanent about Chowdhury. But that's because he rates Charles and Doyle highly, and I understand that. I think Shea Charles would be a great signing for us. Ardo Jim says Dublin Blade. Don't sound very Irish, that. Went for a few cheeky pints after work and bumped into a Celtic fan who pleaded with me to take Trusty back. I said, told you he was rubbish when you bought him. Yeah, well, there you go. Yes, it stuttered before you said it. Oh, that's typical. Typical. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. It's fine now, mate. It was a stutter. I've got the same booster. It has some teething problems in the first week. They said that, actually, to be fair, Nige. They did say give it a week to get up and running fully. But again, it's showing full signal here. So anyway, I'm comfortable and I'm confident at the moment. And I've got a cooling off period. So if it's not, then they're getting the old heave-ho. Matos from Chelsea. Oh, Matos. And they're signing Helic. I'm saying nothing. Helic from Huddersfield. Someday I said we should be looking at cheap, reliable, really good. Andy the Blade's a big fan. Cowboy Paul Young says, Cannon introduced at half-time. He comes onto the pitch and stumbles on a sprinkler and is then out for the season. I read it in my tea leaves just now. That is quite funny for you, that. That is quite funny for you. Glyn Wilson says, Foster on the left tonight will be key for Burnley going forward. Yeah, Lyle Foster. If he turns it on, he can be a difference maker, can't he? My thoughts exactly regarding Chowdhury, says up the Blades. Millwall are selling SA to Palace for 14 million, says Craig. Yeah, and the rest, I think, probably. So they're not going to need the brass, are they? Selling Tanganga. I heard Oxlade-Chamberlain's name has been linked. Hell no. You say hell no. I think he'd do a job for us, but he's not going to be the same player that we remember, is he? He's been playing abroad for a couple of years, not really pulling up any trees from what I understand. Where do these Ox rumours come from? I know. Jimmy, don't forget to put a bit of tape over the sensor at Laser Quest so you can use one. I'm not planning on being involved, to be honest, Neil. So it's a load of 9-year-olds. Can't wait for big Tyrese Campbell to start banging him in again, says Andy. He was on fire before his injury up the Blades. It was, pal. It was. And let's hope he can get anywhere near that sort of form, because that'd be brilliant. A real asset for us. Cole says, I think Doyle would be mint, but one of Doyle's mates goes to my mate's dad's golf club and said that Doyle is definitely not coming to us. The response message to the rumour was, no. The cheek. Okay, fair dues. Ox is a poor man's Davis. Wouldn't have him near the squad, says Nige. I think that's Ash. That party sounds like hell, Jimmy. Well, I get on with a couple of dads, so it won't be too bad. Right, let's have a look at the teams then, because we are 5 minutes away from kickoff. And here is one I prepared earlier when they first came out. These are the teams. They haven't shown them on screen yet, so I'm not 100% sure on how they'll definitely line up. But Burnley have gone with Trafford in goal, Steve, Egan Riley, Brownhill, and it's number order, isn't it? Brownhill, Anthony, Humphreys, Roberts, Foster, Fleming, Cullen, and Laurent. Look at that, Johnny Egan on the bench, Joe Worrell on bench. Both will probably start for us at the minute. Coley Osho on the bench, Jay Rodriguez, Sarmiento on the bench, Ashley Barnes. That's the depth in it. That's the depth that we haven't got. Sunderland lineup: Anthony Patterson, Trey Hume, Chris Mepham, Luke O'Nien, Dennis Serkin, Neil Job Bellingham, Pat Roberts, Chris Rigg, Enzo Lafitte, and that beast Isidore up front. Strong team. I think that's probably. Let me just check their bench. I mean, Dan Ballard sometimes gets in at centre half, but Mepham and O'Nien are very good players as well. I think that's probably Sunderland's best team, and they will obviously. So I don't know that for sure, but Sunderland fans can tell me if I'm way off with that. But yeah, it's a good team. Let me just see if I can work out this. So I think Burnley will be 4 at the back. I think with Connor Roberts 14 at right back, Steve and Egan Riley at centre half, and Bashir Humphreys at left back. He's 12. Josh Cullen and Josh Laron in the middle. They're the last two on the list there. Jaden Anthony, number 11, on the right. Lyle Foster on the left, like was said earlier. And probably Fleming in the 9 with Josh Brownhill just behind him. So I think that's how they're going to go. I think that's how they're going to line up. But we'll see, because they're going to tell us in a minute, I think, on screen. See if they have it different to me when a few more comments come in. Let's have a look. I've got to go out with my lead supporting father-in-law on Sunday for a few pints, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make up. It's 0-0 with a couple of sendings off and no long-term injuries. I think you've put there. No super chats available on this channel. No saying we're not at the it's 1,000 subscribers. Then you can start sending super chats. I'm sorry to say you're unable to do it at the moment, but thank you for even asking. Yeah, so once we get to 1,000 subscribers and a certain number of watch hours, which is ticking along nicely, to be fair, we'll be able to start offering that as something people can do to help the channel. Thank you. I'm going for a draw, says David. Rest in peace, Dennis Law. Has Dennis Law died? Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I didn't realise. Nor did Nige, I don't think. I know it's not Blades related, but rest in peace, Dennis Law, a great striker, and would have taken him at the Blades this season, says Cole. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Oh, and to be fair, they've got the teams out here, and Burnley have lined up pretty much as I've just said. So they've got Sunderland lining up with 4 at the back as well. Same formation, 4-2-3-1. They've got Trey Hume, Chris Mepham, O'Nien, and Serkin as a back 4. That'll be right. Dan Neil and Lafitte as the holding midfielders. Joe Bellingham in the 10. Patrick Roberts and Chris Rigg. Patrick Roberts on the right. Chris Rigg on the left. And Isidore. Isidore. He sounds like a He-Man villain or something on the up front on his own. Beast. Really like him. Evening, Jim. Think Burnley will win. And it's a 3-horse race if we get the points tomorrow. What do you think? Yeah, just mentioned that, Mark. Yeah, I agree with you, pal. I think that's right. Jimmy, it's 4-2-3-1 for both on Sky. Yeah, I've got that too, pal. Cannon, welcome stream when it happens. Of course, pal. Of course. Really like Tommy Cannon. Was mentioned in our pre-season shortlist of players that we wanted, actually. Oh, it's just been announced, says Michael. That's a shame. That's a shame. Rest in peace to a legend of the game, says the saying. Absolutely right. Evening, Jimmy. If Burton Diaz comes in, who do you see going into the 10? Hamer or O'Hare? If Hamer almost guarantees Raksaki and Brooks are out of the 11, only one of them have a spot on the bench. I would say Hamer maybe moves back alongside Vinny. But it depends, doesn't it? It just gives us more options. So it doesn't mean it's a definite whatever happens, really. You could interchange Hamer and O'Hare. Can you imagine starting Hamer and bringing O'Hare on for the last 30 minutes? Or Hamer might move out to the right because we still haven't got a consistent performer on the right. I'm really pleased with how Andre Brooks has done last 2 games, league games, but then he seemed to fall off a little bit in the cup. So if he's going to be inconsistent, which you will get with young players like we've talked about, then maybe your front 3 is Gus Hamer on the right, Callum O'Hare, and Ben Burton Diaz on the left. Tasty. Would you rather a draw or a Sunderland win? I'd rather a draw than a Burnley win, Sam, than a Sunderland win, probably. But I'm splitting hairs because I don't mind what the result is tonight, in all honesty. Somebody's dropping points. Sad news, says David. Absolutely right, it is. Anyone coming through the academy at the minute who you think could break in soon? Was impressed with Billy Blacker against Cardiff. And Baptiste is a very good player for his age. The future's always bright, Cole, to be honest. We have got such a strong academy. I don't know if they're clapping Dennis Law now, to be honest. They're doing a minute's applause. Oh no, there's loads of people coming up on screen. Apologies, I missed who that's for. But in terms of academy, I really like Billy Blacker. Looks really strong. Sam Colchin, who we've been looking at a lot recently since he was surprisingly announced. I didn't even know who he was 4 weeks ago. Looks really good after watching a little bit of him. Baptiste has obviously been brought in rather than being coached through, but he's closer to first team level than most and being involved in the first team, obviously. So it's looking very good. Obviously, we've still got Ryan One is 18. So, yes, he's been involved, but he's not a first teamer, or he's not expected to be a first teamer at this stage. Hello, says Jim, and hello to you too, pal. Is Cannon is the Cannon loan signing instead of BBD, given that Southampton want a fee rather than a loan deal? Cannon is a permanent signing. And Brereton Diaz, we're hoping for a loan with an option. That's the situation. I think Brooks was poor in the FA Cups as the same, but it's probably because we have bigger fish to fry and none of them wanted to get injured. Maybe so. Rest in peace, Dennis Law. Had the privilege to meet him. Such a down-to-earth man, says Neil. It's a great neutral game to watch, says Jim. Completely agree, pal. I'm looking forward to it. Josh says, just joined. Have I missed anything on Blades incomings? Not that you don't already know, pal. Some good points there, mate. Personally, don't think Hamer will drop back with the rumoured incoming centre midfielder. Yeah. Also, one of the best bits this season has been O'Hare and Hamer link up. I think Cannon seals Ryan Brewster's fate. That's good in my opinion. I was thinking about that today. Do you think if Tom Cannon comes in, then Ryan Brewster leaves? Because it's a likelihood, isn't it? Unless we see him as a makeshift right winger, left winger, interchangeable, but he's on big money. He's yet to sign a new deal. We don't even know if we're going to offer him a new deal. I know we were talking to him about it back in October, but it's not been signed yet for whatever reason. So it'd be interesting to see if Brewster is still at the club come the 1st of Feb, if Cannon gets done, which it looks likely. I sat behind the dugout in the cup game the whole time. Wilder was talking to Blacker, telling him things like, prove yourself to me and show me what you can do, Billy. Wilder obviously wants him to impress. That's a motivator, isn't it? We're off here, by the way. Burnley on the attack, and it's intercepted by Sunderland. We are 30 seconds in, if you want to keep up with me. If and when Cannon comes in, that means more goes for his operation on his hernia. Yeah, that's true. So, and that in itself might mean that Brewster sticks around, even though it's a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, Wilder said. Then that in itself might mean Brewster stays just for that cover. Particularly I think if Brewster stays, then we've certainly got to send Ryan One out on loan, haven't we? Which is probably the best for One's development. I just think Brewster goes definitely if we sign Cannon. With our injury record, we could do with keeping everyone, really, says Kyle. Cannon, for me, is a very clever signing. 22-year-old striker, says Joe, with championship experience, almost a guaranteed return if it goes wrong. I agree. 2 perms and 3 loans would make us a very strong squad up the Blades, up the Ramble. Well said, mate. Well said. Would you take any Sunderland or any Burnley players to improve our team, says Sam? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I like a lot of both of the teams, to be honest. I'm not saying they all walk into our team because they don't, but I mean, Lafay for a start, we've not seen him yet properly, but he's coming with a huge reputation. You've got to take Joe Bellingham. I'd take Isidore, where he played against us. He's an absolute beast. Burnley's defenders on the bench, John Egan and Joe Worrell, would make a play for our first team. Yeah, I like a lot of the players, to be honest. Brewster ain't on that much money. People think he's on 50k, but from someone in the Platinum Forum said it's under 20k. That's not true. That's not true. It's between the 2 figures that you mentioned. Breaking transfer news, Curtis has gone on loan. Is it to St Johnstone? I saw that he was rumoured to be going there, up the Blades. Could see One or Marsh going to Rotherham. Local and no need to move house or any travel. I need They need a striker there too, I believe. Maybe so, Cole. Maybe so, mate. I think a massive positive over these last 2 windows is how many players seem to be desperate to play under Wilder. Man hasn't lost the magic. Can't see Brewster on 30 plus per week sitting as a 4th choice striker. I can't either, pal. He's gone out on loan to St Johnstone. Okay, yeah. Keep Brewster, in my opinion. Make it clear your future's up for grabs. It has been, though, hasn't it, Saint? And he hasn't really taken it. He hasn't taken the chance. I think the minute's applause was for fans who have passed last year. Oh, that's a nice touch then, David. Thank you for letting me know. Brewster would probably miss the transfer deadline. Nice, Ray. Nice. Raymond, that's because he can't shoot on target. That was the joke, Nige. Come on. My dream window would be a good centre-back. Doyle, BBD, Cannon and Brewster out the door, says Neil. Might not be far off. I don't think we'll get Doyle. But I think it might be. If you replace Doyle for Chowdhury, I think that's close to what we might end up getting. So come on then, what's happening here? Burnley have got possession at the minute. I need a drink. That's no good, is it? Burnley passing it along the back line. Is there a plan to give a minute's applause in the 28th minute for the person? For which person? Oh, Burnley on the attack here down the right. Oh, he's done Sirkin there. Jaden Anthony. Yeah, it was. Crossed the ball and it's cleared for a corner. So long ball. Dennis Sirkin was a good fullback. Got done. Just tried taking a quick corner there and they had to cut the replay short. Jaden Anthony couldn't really get in the Leeds team last year. And maybe that's a compliment to Leeds in terms of their squad depth. But he's come in for Burnley this season and done really well. Really well on that right-hand side. He's on loan from Bournemouth, I think. I don't know if they've got an option to buy him or what, but he's taking the corner now to the near... Oh! Half volley from Lyle Foster into the side netting, outside side netting of the near post. So... one from the training ground, as they say, but decent effort. What's your thoughts? Joe says, what's your thoughts, Jimmy, on the Cannon fee? Personally, I don't think 10 plus 3 on a promotion is bad at all, considering he's proven and there was other interest and it's January. I think it's market value, isn't it? If you take it away from being a Sheffield United signing, you'd say it's probably not a bad deal at all, because here come Burnley again. Because what do you expect for an almost proven young up and coming striker in the Championship? Burnley cross into the box. It's headed clear by Sunderland. Burnley recover. Sunderland come away. Can they break? Yes, they can. Oh, keeper's out. And he's done the keeper. And it's recovery tackle by Steve, who does really well. Oh, he saved his team there. He were almost through. Burnley have the ball in defence. So, sorry, Joe. Going back to your point, mate. It's a big fee for Sheffield United, and that's probably because we're not used to seeing it. So that makes me a little bit, not nervous, but I'm pleased that we're showing ambition. The only thing I'm sort of a little bit wary on, because I always have to be a little bit balancing everything out. I hope it's not from next season's money, or it's not like against an asset. I hope it's already, or it's just the owners going for it, basically, rather than pinching and borrowing from different pots to try and get it done. So if we don't do it this season, see you later, Gus Amer, or that's another through. But I thought that were a free kick there, referee. It's been, to be honest, right? So long ball comes over again. Dennis Sirkin just plows into Jaden Anthony, and he said no, it's shoulder. I tell you what, Dennis Sirkin, who I've talked up for a long time, has been done 2 times here. So, yes, sorry, Joe. Back to your point again. I think it's a very good signing. I'm very happy with it, put it that way. Cole says, one thing we know Brewster is popular around the area and good around the dressing room. A bit like the Sharp situation in a bit of a waste. When he went, we didn't lose starting 11 quality, but a figurehead. I think there's a difference between being a leader and being popular, Cole. And my impression is that he's popular. Billy Sharp, I think, was both popular and a leader. So I'm not saying Brewster's not, because I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I think the impression that I get is it wouldn't be as big a loss as a Billy Sharp type figure. But I understand the point you're making. Oh, and it's another long ball over to Anthony. Plays it inside. Okay. What going to come of this? Oh, so Anthony's got it again down this right-hand side. Whips across in, near post, but it's cleared. Luco 9. And Sunderland cannot get it away. Burnley come again with a second wave. Sunderland really going for it in this transfer window after Cannon and Burton Diaz, given they don't have parachute payments. Lafee, their new signing, is meant to be some player. I agree, Michael, he is. But you think about it now, if we beat them to both Cannon and BBD, then all they've done is sign a very, very good player on loan with the option to buy, which is great business for them. Oh! So cross came in from the right-hand side there. Almost cleared, or should have been cleared by the Sunderland defence. And it drops straight to Connor Roberts, who has a pot shot at goal, straight at the keeper. It was Chris Mepham, who tried to clear it with his right foot. He's got to swing his left at that. But again, speaking of swinging your left, Connor Roberts on his weaker left foot has a shot, because that's how it fell. Straight at the keeper. Decent start to this game, actually. Have we figured out who this ridiculous signing is? Wilder did say a bit about Walker in the presser, says Kyle. I don't want to sort of burst anybody's bubble here. But what Wilder said, they're playing it across the back here. It's a little bit nervy for Burnley, this. I know they've got a good defence and they'll be confident. Okay, they've won a throw-in. I think, I don't want to burst your bubble, pal, but I think when he was talking about a ridiculous deal that we were doing, I think he meant the complexity of the deal rather than the player. So I think it's been misinterpreted. And again, I might be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope we get a ridiculous signing. I hope Kyle Walker rocks up at the lane, but I can't see it, to be honest. In fact, it won't happen. Kyle Walker certainly won't happen this window. But I think he meant the complexity when he said a ridiculous deal. Chowdhury's the best out of the three, in my opinion, says George. That's what you need in a tough, intense division like the Championship. I agree. I certainly won't be unhappy with Hamza Chowdhury. Here were another one like Cannon on our pre-season wish list. See, the beautiful thing about the internet is when you're wrong, which I am a lot of the time, it's there on tape, so people can go back and call you out on it, which is fair. But if you're right, you can also say, ha, I had him as well. I had him. I wanted him. So there you go. That's one. And I stick by Cameron Archer as well. Hi, Jimmy, says Ian. Evening Ramblers would like a draw, but you never know with these two. With Cannon coming in, do you think O'Neill will go out on loan? I would like to think so, Ian. Yeah, I would like to think so. I think that's the best move for him. Cooler King says, is that an orange squash you've got on the go? Look, it's Friday night, man. Live a little. It was an orange squash. I've been living crazy and I've nicked it all. I am now teetotal. That is a Ramble exclusive. I am now teetotal. I have not had a drink since the start of the year. And yeah, I'll see you all in Triple Point tomorrow. Brewster signed on a 5-year deal at 35k. That's 9.1 million. Absolute robbery. Yes, but he did have relegation reductions in that as well, pal. So he's not on 35k now. As they all do. All our players had that. Read what Alan Nixon said. Loved how at the end he said, Stoke hoping everything round Cannon collapses and nothing happens so they can get him back on loan. I'm sure they do. Here come Burnley again. 2v2 at the minute. 3v3. Jayden Anthony. Oh, what a save. Jayden, great break from Burnley. 3-on-3 it went to. Jayden Anthony played in. Right-hand side of the box. He shoots across the keeper, which Andy the Blade always told me to do. You've got to shoot across the keeper Anthony just gets hands to it and pushes it round the post. It's a save you'd expect him to make, but it's a good save all the same. Strong hand. It was going in. So that's a corner to Burnley. Interesting. Now it's just thing is with Burnley, they're a very mature and experienced squad. Signed clever recruitment. It's a short corner, chipped in. Okay, back out. Burnley still get with the ball here. Another cross comes in. Oh, it's a defensive clearance from Mepham that looked like it could have gone anywhere, but he's nodded it behind for another corner. It's good defending in the end, to be honest. Decent defender, Chris Mepham. Obviously, United were linked with him in the summer. It just causes chaos. It's a lovely cross from Josh Laurent across the 6-yard box, and Chris Mepham, that was close to going top bins. Another corner then. Is this going to be another short one? No, it's straight in this time. Oh, cleared. Burnley back out wide, but it's too short and Sunderland clear it. And it's out for a Burnley throw on halfway line. Jaden Anthony is an obligation to buy for Burnley should they gain promotion for 10 mil, says Michael. Oh, thank you for that. I wasn't aware of that. Isn't Moore on a similar 30k-ish? Yes, I believe so, Kyle. Moore is on 30k-ish. Off topic, Jimmy, 40,000 new stadium or stay at the lane, hypothetically, of course. Can't move. I'm a traditionalist. I don't ever want to move from Bramall Lane. I don't want it to be the Dunkin' Donuts Bramall Lane either. Look, I'm a traditionalist, but I'm a realist. I know things can't stay the same forever, but I love our club's built on tradition, isn't it? It's hard working, the history of the steelworks and all. I love it. I love what we represent, and I don't like the thought of moving. I'm not good with change. I'm not, to be honest. Wash the mouth out saying, always stay at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, says Dublin. Trafford turned into Melia there. Melia? I don't know. Saint says, I'm beautiful downtown Bramall Lane all day. Just wonder what fans think about a new home. I'd love a new cop, though. Do we need a new cop, or do we just need them poles getting rid on? And a little bit of facilities upgrading, obviously. I think we just need a facelift and posts moving, don't we? Stay at the lane all day long, says Nige, saying it's a historic stadium, one of the best stadiums in the country, plus loads of character. Completely agree. Brewster will go to Preston on loan. He's nailed on, says Andy. I hope you're right, pal. I hope he does well. Everybody wants him to do well, don't they? Because he's such a nice kid, but he's how many you can be as nice as Pike. I'm a nice guy, but you won't pay me 30 grand to sit on bench, would you? Agree. Bramall Lane's looking great. Still plenty of expansion space still too, says the Saint. Especially now that it's all been brought under one umbrella, thanks to the Prince. It's all been brought in, hasn't it? So we've now got the option to do that. We all know the Americans love their shiny stadiums, says the Saint. Sunderland free kick, crossed into the box. Bounces awkwardly. It's flicked back in. Burnley head away, and it's an offside flag for Sunderland. So Burnley free kick. When I started going, Saint only had 3 sides, and John Street was wooden. Walker has agreed to join AC Milan. Was on Sky earlier, the same Sky that reported AC Milan were no longer interested yesterday, didn't they? While we were on stream, Scott. But yeah, thank you for keeping us up to date, pal. Yeah, appreciated, mate. That's probably right then, isn't it? Brewster's a joker. He's not serious and not a leader. You always see an arm around him. I think he's good for the morale of the squad. Oh, but excuse me, Burnley nearly broke through again. Zian Fleming this time. He's got a McGoldrick celebration, and he likes to double arm it. Great to see Ramsdale finally going good, says Dublin Blade. All poppered on wrists. Yeah, not like it, is there? Not like it. Josh says with Hamza and Vinny in front of the defence, Robinson might actually not be such a big issue. I'm not. Don't you try leading me down the garden path. If the Blades get promotion, they should go after Joe Bellingham. That's a statement signing. Do what Ipswich are doing, signing top-end championship players. Not cheap, that though, is it, Michael? To be fair, we might. Oh, nice bit of play from Sunderland there, but it's cleared by Burnley. Yeah, who knows how we're going to approach things now? Nobody knew we had 10 million quid sat in back pocket for a permanent deal this window, did they? I certainly didn't expect that. It's great. It's great to see. Can't see O'Neill going out on loan, says Scott, with more needing surgery. Yes, it may seem short term, 3 to 4 weeks, but then he's got to train again and get the fitness up, etc. I think the interesting point, Scott, interesting point. And so we play one striker. Hang on, Sunderland just breaking through here. Burnley clear it. We'll have Cannon, Moore, and Campbell as the main three, won't we? Moore and Campbell struggled a bit with injuries this season. Campbell more so than Moore. Speaking of which, old Steve, is down at the minute, but they've got loads to level up on. Not level up necessarily, but they've got loads of depth on the bench, aren't they? They can bring John Egan or Joe Worrell on, so it's not a problem for Burnley. This. So we've got those three strikers, and then it's a case of Brewster or One as fourth choice. Now, if Brewster goes to Preston or whatever deal we can get for Brewster, One probably stays. And if One stays, we can't forget he's only 18. He just turned 18 this season, so there's plenty of time for him to go. I want him to have a loan. I want him to have a loan because I think proper men's football lower down will be really good for him. But there's no rush. Oh, it's a lovely touch. Oh! I tell you what, unlucky from Sunderland, that. So that were a chipped ball through. He looks just off, to be honest, does Isidore there. But it's a chip ball through, and his touch is brilliant. And then he hits it on the half volley. Nice. Oh, there's a touch, then there's a lovely little knee to shimmy it up, and it's just high and wide of the near post. But good. My preference would be, to be honest, I think we'd go with 3. And anyway, we'll see. We'll see what they do. Is Des Taylor in charge of transfers? He's not in charge of them, Sam, but he's playing a part in discussions and decisions. Yeah. Burnley, Sunderland, and Sheffield United, the top 3 keepers in the division, says Michael, and that will be my top 3 in the end. Not Leeds. It'll be the playoffs for them. Interesting. Because I think I was saying on Battle Lines last night, oh, that's unlucky for Burnley. Trey Hume's gone down easily there to win a free kick, and he's lucky. I was saying on One Leeds fan channel last night on Battle Lines that I think Leeds squad is the best in the division, apart from one position, and that is goalkeeper, like you're mentioning there, Michael. And it's such an important position. I can't see why they're not strengthening there. And it's interesting because us 3, Burnley, Sunderland, and Sheffield United, are all looking to strengthen. So while Leeds sit on having a really good squad and putting faith in it, which is fair and understandable, we're naturally going to get closer to them, aren't we, in terms of squad depth and quality. So it's a risky game they're playing by not bringing anybody in. It's a nice ball over the top. Oh, and it's a goal kick to Burnley. Well defended. So yeah, interesting that Leeds aren't looking to strengthen much this window. Evening, Jimmy. What's happening with Ben Diaz? I think he'll come, pal. I think he'll still come. Might take a little bit more longer than we wanted. Focus is elsewhere at the minute, but not one of anyone complaining about Brewster's deal would have turned it down or offered to give it back. Correct. Unfair to criticise the kid for that. Yeah, you can't criticise him for what he earns. You can't. And fair play to him for getting that. You know, he's earned that deal from previous. We saw enough in him to offer him that deal for 5 years. That's a club decision, not a player decision, and none of us would have turned it down. Absolutely fair point, Ian. Absolutely fair, mate. Traditional. We're going back to blue and white kit then, says Paul. Getting the traditional Sheffield United badge and not this newfangled crossblades emblem. I'm not biting, mate. I'm not biting. Patterson showing Connor our proper keeper plays. Tom Barnsley says, one of the things that made me nervous about coming along to Triple Point meetups was being teetotal. Hearing that there will be others not drinking too makes taking the plunge slightly less daunting. Mate, you are more than welcome. Drink or nay. Certainly don't force anybody to have any booze, but I know what you mean in terms of socialising and fitting in and stuff. I will be there with my soft drink tomorrow. Don't you worry. You're more than welcome, pal. Always. Use the Brewster 35K as an average out. Three out of the 5 years we're in the Prem and can't move grounds. With the oldest ground left, the ground revamped by United on YouTube is a thumbs up. Okay. Reese are linked with Sunderland, so Brewster to Preston makes sense. It does. It does make sense. I didn't know Reese had been linked to Sunderland, but that's okay. It won't start for them. He don't get in this side, does he? I think this is Sunderland's best side. Unless a Sunderland fan can tell me any different, I might be missing a glaringly obvious player, but I think this is a really strong Sunderland team. And they look, to be honest, and it's a difficult place to go to more, but Burnley look the better team at the minute. Off topic, are you doing dry January? How long can you not need a drink for? Because I've not had a drink for 3 years and never gone back to it after doing dry January, says Jim. I'm just not that fussed about drinking. I never have been, really. I went 6 years once without drinking, and it were only socializing that got me back into it, really. And I don't do that much, to be honest, now. So yeah, it's something I won't miss, and it's, you know, I'm trying to be a bit healthier this year, lose a bit of the old it's going down, I'm losing timber, hopefully. Jimmy, your thoughts on Premier League clubs getting away with PSR and FFP? Oh, here we go. Oh, Lyle Foster, that is high, wide, and not so handsome. Your thoughts on Premier League clubs getting away with PSR and FFP? Leicester admitted their guilt, but got off again. Man City and Chelsea get around it by giving out long-term contracts. I think I'm not sure I agree with FFP, to be honest, and PSR. I know it's luck of the draw in terms of what owner you get, but you look at somebody like Newcastle, all their fans are so excited that they've been taken over by, and yeah, it's good for everybody else and the parity of the league. I understand the principle of it, but I think it's been executed so poorly because Newcastle are stranded. They can't spend money that they're desperate to spend, can they? And how does it? I just don't. There needs to be a better way, and I don't know what that is, Michael. To be honest, I don't think it's worked. And I think there's an acknowledgement of that with the weak punishments for the breaches. Joe Bellingham would be 35 million at least, says Josh. We wouldn't get Joe Bellingham. I know what Michael's saying in terms of it would be a statement signing, and it'd show your intent, wouldn't it? Having said that, who would have thought Liam Delap would have gone to Ipswich? And it's easy to say that now because he's pulling up trees, but maybe somebody thought an established Premier League side would go in and get him. West Brom have just appointed Tony Mowbray, by the way, says Tom. All right, okay. It's a good appointment, that. He's a good Championship manager. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Steady pair of hands. We'll get him strong again. Not quite Carlos Corberán, but good move. Don't see Brewster going purely due to the squad depth, says Luke. Yeah, that might be true, pal. If Leicester City get relegated the EFL, they'll get them on FFP and PSR. Well, that's why we got deducted 2 points, wasn't it? Because we breached in terms of transfer irregularities and then got promoted, so we couldn't be punished. We only served one transfer ban, didn't we? We were done for 4 windows. And we renegotiated with Nick DeMarco to, instead of the 3 remaining windows, to have a 2-point deduction. I think we've played a blinder, to be honest. Here comes Sunderland now on the break. Burnley back in really well organised shape already, and it's blocked. Low block from Burnley, as the kids say. Really well done. Seeing this Cannon signing does excite me about what we could potentially sign in the Prem, says George. Players I've always liked is Harvey Barnes. Absolutely right. It's a great player. Hopefully we could be in that kind of ballpark if we go. I remember when my dad was still scouting for Everton, we both went. He used to take me to games with him and just bounce off my opinion. He'd make the decision, obviously. He were the scout, but we'd just bounce opinions off each other with both straight away. Harvey Barnes, I think you're on loan at West Brom at the time. Really, really good player. You could see it from early doors. And yeah, he might be somebody that you could probably sneak out if you get promoted. Maybe, because he's just fallen down the pecking order. As these stronger clubs get so much stronger, I know we've just talked about the FFP making it difficult for like Newcastle to grow and stuff, but as they bring in better quality, good Premier League players get pushed down the ranks, don't they? So it does open up opportunities for clubs that are trying to strengthen underneath. Are we getting cannons as we are, Blades? It certainly looks that way. You don't get an admission from Chris Wilder that we're in a race if it's not almost at the finish line. So, and he's confident because he said in his presser that he's very confident. And that is 2 big ticks for me. I think it's nailed on. We signed Callum Wilson too. Don't think Wilder ever forgets a name from his black book. Callum Wilson would be a great signing for us. It's just another injury-prone striker, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, he's a class above what we've had for a long time. He would top anything we've got currently as a pure striker. I think there's a... Oh, that's a poor pass. That's a poor pass from James Trafford under pressure. That's what playing out front back does. It's a throw into Sunderland right at the byline. Callum Wilson, I would think, if we sign Callum Wilson, I think that's probably up there with a James Beattie level signing. James, for those of you that can remember us signing James Beattie, I think he was the best natural striker we've had, or I've seen in a Blades shirt. Real, like, strong quality player. It's just keeping Callum Wilson fit. But still, as Prince Abdullah said, oh, you were lucky there. Offside. It must have been very tight. They broke the line there, did Sunderland. Jimmy, there are only a couple of weeks left in the window. The Blades are leaving it late to bring someone in. Michael, I don't know if you saw the Wilder press conference this morning, but he said there's been 15 deals done in the Championship so far. 15. And obviously there's 24 clubs. So it's always, I mean, it's hard for us to think back to previous windows because obviously it's 12 months on previous January windows, but this is always the pattern with January. Clubs try and hold out for the best price, and you don't really get much movement really until the last week of the window. So it's rare for a lot of deals to get done very early. Cross in from Sunderland, cleared by Burnley. Sunderland have done well to come back into this game, to be fair. 30 minutes and 21, 22, 23. He's injury prone too, so fits well, says George. Yeah, that's true. Would love to see a Man United and Everton to get relegated, says Nige. Southampton's a cert. I wouldn't want to see Everton relegated. Obviously, we've got ties to Everton, but nah. How about Ronnie Edwards? That's the kind of signing we should be making, securing the future by scooping up the best players under 21. Ronnie Edwards is a good signing, but he's signed for QPR, pal. Signed for QPR, aren't he? Maybe if we go up, if that's what you're talking about. Joe Wainman on X and again on YouTube saying, people telling me you've been chatting beans, son. Is that because I went on Connor's stream last night and said I was going to start doing walking vlogs? Just it's a trend, isn't it, Joe? I think that's what we need to start doing. How come we don't know who everyone is in this consortium, but we know about Stephen Rosen and Helmy Atuki? Don't know, Sam. Don't know. They're obviously not wanting to put their head above parapet, are they? And say so. Leeds don't need a keeper because according to Fart, they have the best keeper in the league already. I don't know who that is, but fair dues. West Brom appointed Tony Mowbray. Toby. All right, yeah, thank you, Sam. And that's out from Sunderland. I think that Tom Davies is probably one of the players I'm most proud of this season. Come back from injuries, from countless injuries to play so much footy recently, and gives us his all proper player and his a proper Sheffield United player now up the blade. Completely agree. He he encapsulates everything, doesn't it, that we want in a player. Runs, determined. I love him. He's just what we want, isn't he? And he's got a touch of class about him as well. On the ball. Thing is, have Leeds got money on? Leeds got money to spend with having high wages and depth with the state of FFP. Leeds aren't in danger of FFP, Nige. No way. They brought in about 100 million quid in summer. They're nowhere near any problems. From what I understand, I don't think they're anywhere near in bother. They've made they've done some good business, to be fair. And I'm not a fan, but you've got to give credit where it's due. Burnley cross cleared. The Leeds thing not making signs. Is that due to they would break FFP? No, I don't think they would. Neil. PSR FFP is all a con, says the same. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan. Mundell and Watson missing for Sunderland. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Strange that Burnley have dropped points at home to Derby, QPR, Stoke, City, Blackburn, Preston and Middlesbrough. If they don't get automatic promotion, it'll be their home record that costs them. Not many losses in there, though. I think it's more been failing to score. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because I could be. Quite a bit of chat about you currently in the YouTube circles, says James. Good thing, bad thing, don't know. Some would say any press is good press, but I hope it's all love, because that's what I'm hoping for anyway. We are fine with FFP. Don't know where people are getting this idea that Leeds are close to breaking it. No, I think so, Liam. I don't think you're in any danger, pal. Joe says, big up. All love, brother. You know that. Leeds have their captain Strike out for 3 weeks, if not more, with a hamstring injury. Ampadu's likely to play in defence, which means their keeper is likely to be more exposed. Yeah, we've seen Ampadu at centre-half, and it's not his position, is it? He can do a reasonable job there, but he's not a centre-half, is he? So, yeah, that's good for us. And it's bad for Leeds. I'd like to see what sort of fixtures they've got coming up. I know they've got Wendy's at weekend. So, be interesting to see how they cope if they haven't got Strike fit, because they all really rate him, don't they? They all really rate him. Trafford having a bit of a wobble. Yeah, I think he's got there in his locker, to be honest. I was never a big fan of him before this season, and then he's had a really strong season, David, I think, personally. And then, he's just one or two little bits tonight. Talk about Leeds falling apart. What about the pigs at their forum this week? It was revealed that Chansiri and Rill, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce his name, haven't spoken since December, slagging off his own supporters. Rill should leave. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I never talk about him. And I think that says all we need to say, doesn't it, in terms of what we think of him at the minute? Because it is, look, I never want to see him do well. And I never want to, it is funny to laugh at the situation that's going on, because Danny Roll has pulled them up with a terrible squad. He's pulled them up to nearly mid-table. He's done a great job for them. So why that chairman's not backing him, I have got no idea. I'm happy about it, don't get me wrong, but I've no idea. Having said that, Burnley played it short. Brownhill chips it in. Header. It's cleared by Sunderland. Good header. Oh, Brownhill again. Across the 6-yard box. Good save. Patterson. It's good keeper, Patterson. Having said that, a lot of you, I don't particularly, but a lot of you will have a lot of Wednesday night pals or family members. And as much as it's funny, you'd hate it if she were on other foot, wouldn't you? You'd expect it. You'd expect to get stick from other side, but it's hard when it'd be a tough watch, wouldn't it? Oh, fuck. Right. Okay. Got you. Cheers, Sen. The best owners are the ones you don't hear about. Look at Brighton and Brentford. Absolutely. Harrogate 1, Cheltenham 0 at half-time. Thank you, Michael, for the scores update. Good point. Look at Ineos, complete clowns. I think the Championship's very strong this season. 4 top teams battling it out, playoffs battling it out, and bottom is 2. I tend to disagree, to be honest, Nige. I tend to disagree. I think it's quite a weak league with 4 decent sides in it. And that's no offence to Blackburn, Borough, West Brom, Norwich, who can all turn up on the day and cause us problems. I think there's an argument to say some of their squads have got a bit better depth than ours. But I think when our first 11's fit, we're a match for these top 3 sides as well. And yeah, I don't think the league's that strong. You look below the bottom 8, and it's really poor. Wow, I'm 3 minutes in front of you, Jimmy. I'm on 37 minutes and 39, 40, 41. So I don't know if that's still the same. Leeds fan here says, James, FFP not an issue. We need a 10, but almost certainly won't make a sign in this window. Are you concerned about that, James? I was asking Connor last night, and he's not. You may have seen it, you may not have done, but he's not concerned. I know there's been talk of you needing a 10, even though Aronson's, I think, done an half-decent job. You'll see him a lot more than me. It's a keeper, innit? Surely it's a keeper, or get Darlow in. I just don't understand it. Well played, Burnley. Jaden Anthony again down right-hand side. High chip, high wide, and yeah, out. Dublin Blade says, Jim, I really enjoy your and Connor's content, but is there any truth to the walkabout rumors that you and Connor, mind the eyebrows, are going to start? He started doing them in the car. No, I'll tell you what it was. I was jumping off the back of, and Joe's, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but Joe, who does the Just Joe football show, has recently started doing walkabout videos where he grabs his phone and he walks around. And Connor's been doing them for a long time. And I watch both channels. And Joe has been getting stick for copying Connor. So that was my joke to Connor about me starting on thing. That's what Joe was referring to in the comments tonight. Hopefully he knows there's nothing sinister in it. But he was getting stick online for it. So, you know, that's what we're doing. We take mickey out of each other as opposing fans. So I'm not going to be doing walking videos. I am not. Credit to those lads and lasses that do it, because I couldn't. I'd be too self-conscious walking around in public. I'm socially awkward as it is, but walking around in public with my phone in front of me and talking to my phone when there's people around me, I just, not for me. Not for me. It can do. Yeah, car's not too bad. I've done a few recorded videos in car just for like Patreons and stuff like that, where I just chat to them and post it into the chat. But I don't. I couldn't walk about. I couldn't do it. George says, I think we've got to strike the balance if promoted between best championship players and fringe Premier League players. But we're crying out for pace. Exposed massively for the lack of it last season in the Premier League. Pace is so like, oh, hang on. Here comes Sunderland. You do need pace in your side. You do, and we haven't got it. It's a fair point. It's overlooked a lot because you look for, like Ricky J. Jones, for example, is a speed merchant, but I don't think he's, got the talent to hold down a first team spot at Sheffield United. You tend to find those very quick players are either gems from abroad or a premium. Otherwise, they're, oh, hang on, ball across Sunderland. It's cleared from Burnley. It's 0-0 this, but it's a good game. 40 minutes and 48, 49, 50. Who cares about YouTube drama, Jimmy? Oh, don't worry about that. Keep going. If people are mad at you, just be doing. Listen, mate, there's no drama from my. I don't think there is anybody else's end, to be honest. I don't go out to upset anybody. No dramas here, to be honest. It'll probably be Max Vober, not Ampadu. Fair dues. Yeah, that makes more sense. He'll tuck inside as a left. Is Firpo back then? Yeah, that'd make more sense. Josh says, have you seen the new rules coming to the Prem clubs limited to spending 4 times what the lowest team collecting TV money? Seems good to stop the top teams always pulling away from the rest. I'm all for... I know what they mean. They can't let people run away with it and become unstoppable. But I don't know. I think if we were... For example, if we were told you can't spend 13 million on Cannon, you can only spend 8 million quid. Well, Leicester might not sell him to us. And then we might have to stick with what we've got or go for somebody else. It's just it feels a little bit harsh. Pat Roberts. Okay. Thoughts on a potential Shea Charles loan, says Maury? Love it. Love the idea of it. Don't think it'll happen, but I love the idea of it. As if we've got 840 people here. Thank you to everybody joining me. Most of you are on X, and you're very welcome. But if you would jump over and subscribe to us, that would be very, very much appreciated. We are trying to grow this channel. Saint's trying to send me some super chats and he can't. So it's very much appreciated. Connor makes me laugh, says the Saint. If they plan tomorrow to give a minute's applause in 28th for Roy Page, who sadly died on the 30th of December. I've not heard of that, Sam. I've not heard about that. I don't know if there's a plan to do that or not. Oh, Cardiff and Swansea tomorrow at 11. Welsh derby, but we will be on our way to Bramall Lane. The FFP was brought in to try and stop clubs going bust, but it's more before the US and Arab money came into the game. Dublin Blaze says, if Chansiri is looking for people to help him buy the club, can I suggest your Guinness drinking mate Dozy? Yeah, I'm sure he'd be interested. He likes the city. He said that before, didn't he? I've seen a link to Michael Keane to the Blades. Any truth? Think that's Man Mountain trying to manifest it, just trying to will it into existence. It's one of his expensive January wishes. Who's playing better? I would say first 20 Burnley, second 20 Sunderland. I think it's been even. It's been good, actually. I've enjoyed it. We're on 40 minutes, 43, 42, 43. Here comes Sunderland again into the area, left-hand side. Crossed across the box, but it's cleared. Decent. What owner tells the fans to go find me a buyer? I know, crazy, innit? Daz, good evening, mate. Just watched Man U Southampton highlights. Why are Southampton not getting the negative press we got last year? They're on their worst points-wise at the same stage than we were. It's mad, isn't it? They're not getting anything like. I don't. It's just more fuel, isn't it? It's more fuel for Wilder, really. I think it builds into that underdog mentality. Nobody likes us. He loves all that sort of backs against the wall stuff. So you can have more of it for me. Just an idea, when I see YouTube suggesting content from people like Ben HD and others, it's always when they do things like transfer roundups and best 11 type content. I think you could do the same. Yeah, it's something that we've considered, pal. It's something that I say we, me and me. I've thought about it, and if the Blades Ramble, I think will stick to being Blades content, because that is my number one love. Things like transfer content and other talk of other teams and stuff, I can do over here because it's a little bit more blanket, isn't it? There's a bit more, and also you can test theories like this, like a rivals watch along. It's not a Sheffield United watch along. This, obviously, we're watching it because it's got big connotations for Sheffield United, but it's not really two teams. It's not involving Sheffield United directly. So if this works, we could move it over to the main channel. If I get good enough traction on views and stuff like that, and people want to see it, then it'll stay. If not, for now, it's doing good enough views on the second channel. So it's a good thing to bring to it. So I'm always up for new ideas, Josh, and thank you for bringing some more. Love it. Keep them coming. Any talk on centre half, says Andy? We could be after. Heard of the kid from Forest, but not heard of any others. Luke Woofenden were mentioned, weren't he? He started for Ipswich, I think, last time out. So that's probably not on the table. I think we need a centre half, and we need one quick, don't we? I know we're all excited about Cannon. That's half time. Good game, that. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited about Tom Cannon. I'm excited about Brereton Diaz. I love Hamza Chowdhury, but let's shore it up at the back as well. Let's not be daft. I like Connor's content. Some of his watch-alongs are great. I watched his Hull one. It was brilliant. Stuff in Blade. The Hull one was epic. When he couldn't speak, nearly cried. I'll be honest, I deliberately logged on to watch that. I wound it back and sort it out so I could see his reaction. When you gave the time check at 37 minutes, I was on 40. So I'll not mention any scores. Oh, wow. I don't know how that is. I'm watching a normal Sky stream that's not behind. I checked when you said, and I'm not like wound back or anything like that. So don't know what's happening there, David. Jimmy, if Brereton Diaz and Cannon comes in, is it likely that Moore and Raksaki drop to the bench? Yes, it probably is. It probably is, Michael. Probably is. Or certainly stronger rotation options, aren't there? That's the one saying his Preston one was a cracker as well. Where was the one where we were lying on bed saying, I tried so hard and got so far? That was funny as well. Love that. In fact, I clipped that one up. Just think we need some speedy players who like to play positive forward and drive forward. Does it concern you that we only have 2 players back for Norwich? No, it doesn't, Jack. We're stronger for those 2 players back. But not only that, we are no longer running on empty. And that was the huge thing for me. Yes, they're not all immediate first team choices as players, but they're fit and they're ready to go now. So we're getting stronger all the time. Telling owners they can't spend is madness. How is Zinedine Lafay looking? He's been quiet, to be honest. Been quiet. I think we've said to Southampton, if we buy Burton Diaz on a obligation to buy it, we want Shea on loan with an option to buy, determined if Southampton go down. Where have you seen that, Maury? Where have you seen that? That'd be clever, wouldn't it? Just like you say, for the banter, it'd be hilarious. Every club in the Prem is owned by billionaires. It's all a con. The problem is, saying even Championship clubs are owned by multimillionaires. Nobody's going bust. The problem is, you need to get to the Prem, don't you, for the finance. This season, Leeds fans will hopefully agree, Burnley fans and Sunderland, is so much more enjoyable. The journey getting there is so much more enjoyable than the destination. Look at Southampton. They'll have really enjoyed it last season, and look at them now. Excuse me. Thought about a collab with another Blades YouTube channel, maybe Hal from Sheffield United Way, says Joe. We've done stuff together in the past. I'm not against doing stuff together in the future either. Depends what for. There has to be a purpose for it, doesn't there, really? I don't know what you'd want us to discuss. But yeah, I'm up for working with anybody. You know, I've never been of the thought process that, oh, well, I can't talk about this other channel, or there can't be more than one in the space, or there can't be this, that, and other. There's room for every. I spoke to a couple of ramblers this week. 2 of them contacted me independently and said they were thinking of starting their own YouTube channel and never got any advice from them. And look, asking me is probably a bad move. That's my first bit of advice. Don't ask me, but absolutely, I'll help you however I can. I'll tell you about equipment and mistakes I made and stuff like that, because there's room for everybody. Honestly, there's no, you know, if there were 5 more Blades channels, yeah, it'd saturate it a little bit. Like Leeds have got loads of fan channels, but they're all different. You watch Connor and it's a completely different. I know we joke about him doing the same style of content by walking around because the fans are getting onto him about, or getting onto Joe about it. But they're completely different opinions and completely different styles of delivery. So you'll either really like one or really like other, or you'll really like both and watch both. So I think it's the same. I think me and Sheffield United Way present something completely different. Some might like me, some might not like me, some might like Sheffield United Way, some might not. Some might like us both, and that's okay as well, which is why we try and not sort of double up or clash when both are on, so that people don't have to choose between. Sometimes that's unavoidable. But yeah, I'm not against working with anybody, to be honest. Obviously, Sheffield United Way included still. GT Blade says, probably for the older viewers, but very sad news about Dennis Law. Great player, great character. Yeah, well said, GT. We're shocked that it were mentioning comments earlier, but yeah, I wasn't aware of it when we came live. Definitely subscribed. It makes my evening bearable. Thank you, Jim. Much appreciated, pal. What time do you get into Triple Point, Jim? I'm home in a few weeks for a Saturday game. It depends who's driving, because if I'm driving, then I like to get there early. So Andy the Blade and the rest have to come more on my schedule. I think this week, Dave the Blade is driving, so we'll probably be there about 2:45. So I don't know is the honest answer. Usually it's between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. But there's loads of ramblers that are there, and everybody is so welcoming, and it sounds very daunting, but it's the furthest thing from it, and you'll only know that once you try. I know you might not be the same Dublin Blade, but somebody said earlier that they were a bit nervous about coming and introducing themselves, but we're all part of the same thing, aren't we? We're all Blades. We all come together to give opinions, and I love it. That's what the best thing about this community is, how everybody comes together. Rai says, I have to agree that transfer bit that Connor does is great. Something on behind the ramble that could be neutral, get all champ fans in, transfer roundup, etc. Great idea. I'll look into it then if it's something that people want to have a look at. Again, like, I don't want to produce same content as Connor. It won't be the same because we've obviously got different styles as well. But I don't want, Joe's just got some rate stick for walking around with his phone. If I do a transfer one on my second channel, when Connor's started doing transfer ones on his second, there'll have to be a different delivery, won't there? And maybe talk about a few different things. Or we maybe pick out top 3 transfer rumours and talk about that. So we'll do something. We'll do something if people want to see it, but I'll look into it. Which position do you think other permanent player is? It's got to be centre-half, hasn't it? It's got to be centre-half, Jack, hopefully. I'd love that because they don't seem to be as expensive as forward players. So you'd think it's a permanent position we're looking at. Similar feel to the game as our away game against Sunderland. Good to compare and see where we're at. Yeah, I agree. Neil says the Southampton situation being worse than the Blades is due to them being a fashionable team, not a pub team, as we were labelled. Yeah, that's true. That's true because they keep the ball, don't they, Neil? They keep the ball more than most. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We've nearly got 950 people here. Again, I'm going to plead that you come over and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, because this would almost push us over the 1,000 subscribers mark, which is something we've been working towards with these watch-alongs. I'm really disappointed I can't do the Leeds Chef Wednesday one, but obviously my girls come first, so we'll have to pick up another one at Leeds games or something like that. Michael says, Jimmy, will you be doing the last day transfer deadline coverage on your podcast? Of course I will, pal. A lot of other podcasters do it when covering their teams to see deadline day signings. Yeah, we'll be live on main channel for that. I had my dad come on last January and do it with me, so I'm going to try and twist his arm, see if he fancies coming on again. Andy the Blade always pulls in the views. You and Connor should do meltdown videos, playing bingo on a stream, 10-minute videos reacting. Yeah, maybe. Cornish Blade, watching in a time machine, 3 minutes into the future. I know, Ian, I thought same. David can't be that far in front. He can't be. Personally, I wouldn't buy Brereton Diaz, says Jack. I wouldn't. Think Connor gets the house call there. That's just my thinking. Dom says it's nice to get a sneak preview of the Championship playoff final tonight. Nice, Dom. Nice. There'll be some Leeds fans in the chat that appreciate that. Evening, Jimmy, says James. Nice to see you toe the Blades line yesterday with Connor. Always, mate. Always. I hope I do as proud. I don't ever want to embarrass us. I like to give him the odd jab every now and again. I think you have to be respectful to them and where they are in table and what they've done this season. I do think the fan base, in large parts, have got a sense of entitlement. But having seen for myself some Leeds lot come over here and be very nice, and yeah, it feels like it's thawing a little bit. I know there's still a rivalry and we're in a promotion race with them, but it feels like it's thawing out a little bit. Transfer news in the next couple of days will be great. Jimmy says, Joe, I think we'll get it, pal. I think we will get it. Keep it Ramble, as we say around here. Empower Health and Wellness says, my God, Burnley are drab to watch. Sunderland fans, so obviously I'm biased, but God, I wouldn't want us to play that football. Yeah, I think it's been interesting watching Siles match up, though, because they have been... You've both looked dangerous on the break. I've enjoyed watching it, to be honest, because it's been back and forth, hasn't it? I think they were on top for the first part, first half, and you were on top for the second part, first half. So decent. Jimmy, tease is keep it Ramble. It's a no-brainer. Who wouldn't keep it Ramble? The best Blades content around. Up the Ramble. Hit the like, please. David, what a man. What a man. Thank you for your continued support, pal. Hellick confirmed to Oxford just now. Great signing. Great signing for Oxford. We've missed a cheap trick there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If Andy the Blade says it, look, if I could pick holes in a lot of his stuff, I will, because watching him react is so funny. But he knows football. I'm telling you. And he's spotted Hellick a while since. And it's a sleeper signing that people took the mickey out of me for suggesting it on our plan for Jan. Good signing for Oxford. Part of me wonders if the Chowdhury deal has been held up due to Cannon coming in. Maybe White's the loan fee due to the fee we're paying for Cannon, or Chowdhury's even being considered as could all be possible, George. Could all be possible, mate. I'd be happy with Chowdhury on a permanent. I really would. But you've got to think we've spent the majority of our permanent budget that probably wasn't even there on Tommy Cannon. What a signing for them, says Rye. Listen, don't you be... I don't know if that's sarcasm. Saint says, Hal is great, brilliant at what he does. Hal is a professional broadcaster. He is very good at what he does. Very good. You can't... I don't think anybody's disputing that. I enjoy what Hal does. No qualms here. Jimmy, do you know the worth of the new owners, COH Sports? I don't, Michael. I don't. And I don't think it's going to be widely known because it's a consortium, isn't it? So they'll be collected, and it'll be a case of what they choose to put in rather than what they're able to put in. I believe collabing is a great way to get views and target a new audience, says Jack. I also really like how you get the fans involved. You have something great on here, pal. Thank you, mate. Thank you. We tried to. It's a community, isn't it? And we want people to feel comfortable in commenting and not being judged for what they're saying, because everybody's got an opinion and everybody's opinion is valid. So I might not agree with it, but I'm certainly not going to shoot you down for having a different opinion to me. And I think it's good to have a place where you can have a voice that's heard. Perms, Cannon, and a centre-back, loans, Chowdhury, Brereton, Diaz, and Charles, says Josh. Don't think we get Doyle, to be honest. Been playing for Wolves, and the cost would be high. I'm not sure we get Charles and Chowdhury, Josh. I think that'd be wishful thinking, probably. Listen, one thing I will say, what is it, Friday night? It's just gone 9 o'clock. No traitors, spoilers in the comments, please. That will be bang out of order. No. Jimmy, you full-time YouTube yet? If not, I think you should go for it. Thank you, pal. I appreciate that support. Keep it Ramble. Out of our squad, do you think would make the jump? Who out of our squad do you think would make the jump up to the Prem? Michael Cooper. Once Michael Cooper gets in the Premier League, he's never coming back. Mike Cooper gets in. I think Harrison Burrows has got the potential to be a Premier League player long term. I think Anel in a better team. I don't think he's great in terms of reactionary defending, but I think in a better team, probably more possession heavy, like a Tottenham or something like that. I think he plays quite well. Ollie Arblaster has got the potential to do it. Vinny Souza has shown that with a bit of confidence behind him, he can be a really strong player at this level, and I think he can take that confidence up with him. Gus Hamer, we know, can perform in the Premier League. Last 10 games last season was probably our best player. That would be about your lot for proven. You'd like to think Callum O'Hare would give it a good go at stepping up. I think he might struggle to bridge the gap and be a real impact player at Premier League, but certainly an option off the bench would be interesting. Tyrese Campbell, yet to be proven. Kiefer Moore, yet to be proven. Alfie Gilchrist will likely go back, but, signing Alfie Gilchrist, I'd be interested in doing. Do we bring Harry Suter back? There's all sorts of conversations, but I think we've got more than you think. Do you think we go back in for Suter in the summer? Or there we go, Josh. I'd love us to go back in for Harry Suter. I think we only go back in for him permanently if we go up, but I think he's definitely a choice for a loan signing if we stay down. The Leeds game on Sunday is on ITV. Is it? All right, I didn't realise that. Jimmy, do you see other Blades podcasts as your rivals? No, not at all. Not at all. Because what is stopping you from watching or listening to all of them, Michael? Nothing. If it was a case of you could only choose one and listen to one or watch one, then there would be my rivals, wouldn't there? But you could watch me, then you could go and watch Sheffield United way or other way around and enjoy both. So, no, they're not my rivals because you don't have to choose. So you can watch both and enjoy both. Leeds fan here, good luck for the season. Love Brooks. Thank you, LUFC Passion. Good luck for the season too. Hope you finish second. Genuinely. Behind us. The reason Southampton don't get the grief we did is because they aren't getting smashed by 5 to 8 goals every week like we did. They're just as bad performance-wise. We go up. Ramsdale goes down. it were just it were not a perfect storm. There's a phrase for it, isn't there? It were just everything that could go wrong went wrong for us last season. Time to play the loading teaser, Jimmy. I don't know what you mean, Ian. I don't know what you mean. He says as he's obviously scrolling down to it. What are you talking about? No, I don't know if I've got it. Have I got it? I played it the other day, didn't I? Doesn't seem to be there. Oh no, I won't play it because we're back underway now. The best part about your channel, Jimmy, for me, is the level of interaction you have with anyone. As mentioned before, I've been in the Platinum chat for a week or so now, and the community is great. Thank you, George. You are very welcome there, pal, and I appreciate the support. It's very, very much appreciated. It's helping me out massively. I think what will be in the Blades' favour is that if Burnley and Leeds remain in the FA Cup, Leeds have Millwall at home, and I believe Burnley are away to Southampton in the next round. Oh, good chance for Burnley, and you've got to do better there, Fleming. Knocks down to him about 8 yards out. He's more or less on penalty spot, strikes it wide. So it's a cross from the left-hand side. Decent ball in as well. Header back across. Josh Brownhill, again, who's involved in everything. Burnley played a second team, didn't they, essentially, in the FA Cup? So chances are they'll continue to focus on the league. And I think although Leeds didn't play a completely changed, here comes Sunderland. Oh! Isidor's it outside at post. Oh, tell you what, that's a great chance. It's a good break from Sunderland. Cross from the left-hand side. He gets between the two centre halves, takes a lovely touch, bang, from edge at box, and it's outside at post and goes wide. Unlucky that. Unlucky. I don't think either side, Michael, will focus on the FA Cup. I think they'll feel weak inside. Excuse me. And who can blame them? It's a tight race, isn't it? Jamie Fleer. Fleabag. How's it going, pal? This is one of my school friends. Hi, Smith, he says. Hiya, mate. How you doing? Hope you're well. You and the family. Rice says, was a genuine comment at Hellick being a good signing for Oxford. Nice one, mate, pal. See that Luke Ladd played 90 minutes for Ipswich last night, so maybe he's not available. I wouldn't have thought so now. I wouldn't have thought so. It will maybe just linked because he's been a long-term target. I love you both, Blades Ramble and Sheffield United Way. I miss and also love beer and breakfast with Shore and View. Unfortunately, what happened with Johnny? Not half, mate. Not half. Rest in peace, Johnny boy. Says Maury. Well said, pal. We all miss the Shore and View. It was a very unique take on a fan channel. Yeah, you talk about offering different content. We have massively lost something from our Blades community with completely different style of content, weren't it? And just, yeah, sad, very sad. I would adore Doyleback, says Tom. I loved him and McAtee. The owners we know are said to be worth about 400 million a piece, says Neil. So is that the two co-chairmen? Wow, it's a pretty penny, isn't it? I watched you and Connor on Thursday, and especially at the end when you're getting up the blades. Look on Connor's face, his class. I do it every time, and he's yet to twig. He'll often panic, and I don't know if he's ever got this into the actual broadcast, but he didn't even do it last night. He gave up on it as Sunderland come forward. He's crossed in from the left, and Burnley clear just about. Yeah, so I always finish on when he says, thanks everybody for watching and see you next time, or whatever it is, however he signs off, I can't remember. And I always go, up the blades. And he's already clicked off, and then there's a bit of a delay on StreamYard before your stream ends at our end. I don't know if it is at your end, but first couple of times I did it, he was like, oh, header, good save. He was like, up the mighty whites. And he was like, oh, that sounds so bad. I didn't say bad, but he said a swear word, but he says, we don't even say that. I'm like, well, there you go. There you go. I watch loads of fan channels of many clubs. Some are great, and there's room for everyone, says the Saint. Absolutely right, pal. Michael says, Jimmy, I second what the Saint said. You should go full-time on YouTube. I really do think this is your calling in life. You're a natural and communicate well with your viewers. Follow your passion, Jimmy. Thank you, Michael. That's a lovely thing to say. Really appreciate that. Oh, that's really nice. Really nice. There is a word for it, Jimmy, but it's a family show. I'd love you to get the Blades Pod lads on for a cola. I think they talk a lot of sense. I've not really spoken to Ben, but I get on great with Roy. I think he's really good, really funny. I love his Roy's view. Yeah, no, would be happy to stream with him anytime. Harrogate 2, Cheltenham 0 is the latest. Thanks, Michael. I don't know why we're getting League 2 updates, but I'm happy to take them. I'm happy to take them, mate. I honestly think these Oxlade-Chamberlain rumours linking him to Blades is founded, says Danny. I honestly think he would do a really good job on the left for us, and I think it would be worth the risk. Do we know how much he's on, Danny? Because you could believe him to be on something like 60, 70 grand a week, couldn't you? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if he's on anything like that, but I don't know. I don't know. What is he, 32 now? There's a lot to be said for not tipping the balance. You know, if you've got Gus Amer in your squad who's known to be your best player and he's on probably half of what you're going to be playing Oxlade-Chamberlain, does that upset people a little bit? I don't know. I don't know. Has there been much said in the Platinum chat for some reason? It said I have been removed. Sam, we had this chat. You removed yourself, didn't you? I need to put you back in, actually. So has there been a lot of chat, mate? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I must have been 500 messages today. Ridiculous. People are going crazy with this transfer window and rumours flying about. DC, the informant, keeping everybody up to date. Appreciate it. Just got in, Jim, as Tom Cannon signed. Not yet, John. Not yet, as far as we know. Sunderland nearly scored 47 minutes, says David, looking into the future. I'm on, just to time check with you, David. I am on 51 minutes and 40 seconds. 41, 42. Brewster would have scored both of them chances at both ends, says Ian. I agree. Goal machine, Ian. I've got to keep Ian sweet. He's the gatekeeper of the chats. He keeps everybody in order. He's like the headmaster. You're right, Ian. Whatever you say, pal. Best result tonight is a draw, says Paul. Yeah, I would say so, mate. I would say so. I was saying earlier before, you might have just joined us, but any result isn't bad for us, is it? Because somebody's dropping points. Burnley could potentially really damage Sunderland's automatic hopes with a win. Sunderland could hurt Burnley in terms of them staying in the top 2 if they win. But a draw, we could go back second tomorrow with a win. In fact, we'll go top, won't we, with a win temporarily till Leeds play if it's a draw tonight. But can we get a tune out of him and keep him fit? Is that game changer with Champions League experience as well as England? He is historically a game changer, Danny, but players often, when do players fade? And every player is different, aren't they? If he was that good, you look at somebody like Wilfred Zaha, who's about to go to MLS. He's not 30 yet, is he? So that some players dip a lot earlier than others. So you can't ever rest on past reputation as Sunderland completely. Chris Riggs skies it massively. You can't always rest on past reputations. We'd have to see what he's been like recently, wouldn't we? A lot of people talked about Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent's free. He's been released. He was linked to Leeds for ages, linked to us for ages. No movement. So has he lost a step? Has the spark gone from his game? We don't know, do we? Is he a trouble causer? Don't know. Hope these rumours on Oxlade are false. We already have one sick note in Brewster, says Dublin Blade. Think you and Connor should bring in Burnley and Sunderland fan channels for battle lines every 2 weeks. Would be good content. Connor said he will come on the Ramble, no problem. Because obviously I'm going on his channel for him. He will come on the Ramble for a show. But as I've spoke to you guys about before, I don't ever want to just put a show together for the sake of it. It's got to be meaningful. It's got to be something that I enjoy, that you will enjoy. So I'm open to taking any ideas. Stuff like that with getting other fan channels on. I get on really well. Here comes Sunderland. Oh, Sirkin as well. Sunderland in the box here, left-hand side, crowded out again by Burnley, who are holding a really good defensive shape. Oh, shot from outside the box by Lafay. It's deflected out for a corner. But like bringing in 2 other channels, it's fine. We can do it because obviously I do a lot of streams with Ramblers where we have more than one on screen. For Hot Topic, there were 6 of us this week, or 7 at one point, and we all take turns. And it's hard not to talk over each other sometimes. It's hard to give everybody enough time to spotlight their club. So it's sometimes difficult to coordinate a little bit. I often think they sound better in theory than they actually play out, those sort of shows. Oh, it's a good header, good clearing header. Another corner to Sunderland. So, but again, Danny, I appreciate the thought, and I will definitely, if it's what some people want, and we can give it a go. Do the new owners attend games, Jimmy, or do they have to a go between like City do? They've attended the 1 game, I think, so far, maybe 2. But they're based in America, aren't they? So again, it'll be Stephen Bettis that likely, it's over the bar from Sunderland, that likely represents them. I don't know if there's anybody from the consortium per se that comes regularly. How's the fee playing? Been quiet, apart from he's just had a decent shot that were deflected for a corner, but it's come to nothing, Kyle. Lee says, I've mentioned it before, but we should be looking at Jimmy Dunn at QPR. You have mentioned it, Lee. I think it's a really good shout. He's at QPR to come in at centre half. Here comes Sunderland again. Oh, well done. Yeah, Sunderland started better. Experienced captain of QPR and out of contract in the summer, so won't break the bank. A very good defender. Completely agree, Lee. I think it's a really sensible option. 990 people here. 990 people are watching us, and that would leave us 10 away from the subscribe, target if you all subscribed and did me a solid. DC, what a guy, says Mogger. 500 messages, that's light numbers. When I was in there, we'd be pushing 1,000. I know, Scott, but it's calmed down since the days that you were in there. We miss you, pal. We miss you. You think this transfer window is mental? Jimmy, just wait for the summer. I don't think it's mental, mate. I think it's more people's reaction to the transfer window that's a little bit... I understand it, why people are nervous and stuff. Oh, that's a dive. That's a dive by Sunderland boy. Lafay has just... You don't do that. You don't do that. How he's not been booked there. He's just thrown himself into Burnley defender, and Tom Daly'd it. Really poor. Really poor. How do you get on the Blades Ramble WhatsApp group? You have to be a part of the Patreon, pal. So if you want to be in our... Well, they're our top 2 tiers. If you become a member of the channel, the Ramble, then you can get onto the WhatsApp group as well. We've got an original WhatsApp group, which is fairly quiet, to be honest, but it's obviously still a place where people can meet and share their opinions. But the active groups are on the Patreon tiers. And they are getting big. So thank you to everybody for the support. But for those that want a quiet life, I think they mute it for the majority of times and just scroll through foot news. Do you plan to get the new owners on the channel, says Sam? I would love it, Sam, should the opportunity come. I would absolutely love that. They're more than welcome, as always. We have got a interview planned with Prince Abdullah coming up, which is, I'm very grateful he's agreed to do. So there's a high 32. I didn't realise he was that old, Luke, to be fair. Let's sign players before they go to Besiktas or Fenerbahce. That has to be the aim. Yeah. That Ryan Kent in it. I was wondering yesterday, where's Zaha's gone now? Now I know. There you go. So you can learn something every day, don't you? I watch Blades Ramble. Sheffield United away, sometimes travelling Blade is my second. It's similar to Shore View, but no one could replace Johnny Gascoigne. Well said, David. Well said. I don't think anybody would try. The best editor in the space that I'm aware of that did a bit... Like, you can... On YouTube, and on Burnley just on the attack, Fleming took it really well there, but it's well blocked by Sunderland and it's cleared. So on YouTube, you can sub out like your editing. So some people get people to do the thumbnails for them. Some people get other people to do the editing, and they'll just do the presenting. I do everything myself. I think Nick does the editing for Sheffield United Way. Johnny did everything for Shore and View, and I think he was the best editor of anybody that I've known that does it himself. Obviously, you can get bigger channels that get professional, qualified editors that might have things on a par, but his stuff was absolutely incredible. And like I told the story like around the time of the sad news, really, that he just used to send me stuff. Like, here you go, mate, I made this for you. Hope you like it. And it were part of like stuff that I use for Ramble intro today. You know, like with Spotlight on, where it's the Ramble logo and it's between some cuts and there's a spotlight that keeps lighting up on the Ramble logo. I would have no idea how to do that because I'm a complete self-taught amateur. He was a professional editor, so he knew what he was doing, and he made that for me and put "Merry Christmas, brother," sent it to me. Just top guy, top guy. He wouldn't want you to believe that because he was trying to be hard on screen, but he was a top guy, and he's missed. No, Jim, just keep it between you and Connor. You need to bring an interpreter on for the Sunderland fan. So would anyone split? You can get subtitles on YouTube, can't you? Would be right. Would be right. Josh says, have you heard of Sunderland Cross? Cleared. Oh, not cleared well by Burnley this time. And they're just going to recover it now. That's okay. Have you heard of Matai Akinboni? Young MLS centre-back. One to look out for with the American owners. No, I've not heard of him, Josh, at all. Burnley goal kick, and we're on 61 minutes and 40 seconds. Danny Boy says, love Chancery meltdown last night at the Wednesday Forum. Couldn't happen to a better club. On a serious note, only the fans suffer in the end, but they are Wednesday fans, so I ain't bothered. Fair, Dan, fair. They would laugh at us if she were on the foot, wouldn't they? But I mean, I do feel for those that have got like split households and stuff like that, and some who've got really close Wednesday mates. Right, come on now. We're over 1,000 people watching in here. 1,021. So that must mean, surely, because you've all subscribed, haven't you? You've all subscribed. You've all clicked on YouTube and helped me out. Let's have a look. 20 of you. 20 of you have subscribed today. I'm on 686. Come on, lads and lasses, help me out. Johnny Shore and View was a good editor. As good an editor I've ever seen on YouTube. And I watch 10 hours a day of YouTube content of all genres. There you go. Can't dispute that at all. 5 seconds behind. I'm 5 seconds behind you, Ian, or you're 5 seconds behind me. Don't mind. It's close enough, isn't it? 63 minutes and 5, 6, 7. Decent, this. I'm enjoying it. And it's something to believe in. 687. That's what we like. Thank you to whoever reacted to my call to action. I'm 5 behind, says Ian. Okay. I'll take that. Because I don't mind. Little break in play now for injuries. I think I'm going to end at comments. That's very unlike me getting to the end of the comments. Proud of myself. Sam, I can see you've requested to join. Let's get you in then, pal. Welcome back, mate. Welcome back. Hey, I heard you were a while. Is John's mates interested in doing shows, Jimmy? Oh, Johnny's mates, as in like the Shore and View crowd. I've spoken to a couple of them just about how they're doing, and you know, said they're always welcome to come on. Spoke to Ruth recently about it, but I would certainly never. They may feel they don't want to, they can't. It might be emotional for them. I wouldn't want to. It's completely up to that. The door will always be open for me to work with anybody. I'm no, you know, I think it'd be really nice, but completely their decision. Completely their decision. Not bad with your dial up. Yeah, not bad that, is it, Ian? I'm only 5 seconds behind. Love that. Both lose tonight, said GT. Both lose up the M1 on Sunday. It would be great results if this was possible. Yeah, it would. It would be great. It's not happening though, is it? It's not happening. Hey, I heard you were... I can't believe there's still over 1,000 people here and you're not all subscribed. I'm not one for often saying stuff like that, but it's the golden number on YouTube, that, you know. 1,000 subscribers. I'm on 689. Sorry I left the group before. I was trying to clear the message, but pressed the wrong button. Don't worry, Pat. I didn't even see you gone, to be honest, before. Otherwise, I just added you straight back in. Hope they do. There were only fools and horses, blades, if you get what I mean. If we do go up this season, do you think new owners would heavily invest to remain there? I'm always loath to talk about the P word, Danny. But just to answer your question, pal, it's made me very optimistic about it. This Canon deal has made me very optimistic that there will be. Oh, and it's cleared. There will be money to keep us there because they're obviously keen to get there, so that you would think they will be keen to stay there. Oh, it's a great header. That's a penalty. No penalty. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I thought that were a Burnley pen. Referees. Oh my goodness me. Isidor's pretending, lying down, holding his leg. But I tell you what here. So let's have a look what happens. So Isidor gets muscled off the ball earlier on in the phase of play. That's fine. So there's a chip into the box, probably by Brownhill, header across, and it's Zian Fleming. So it's Lyle Foster heads back across. Oh, do you know what? It's not. I don't think it is. I think Fleming's gone looking for it. Fair play. Well, he's caught his leg. That could be given. That could be given. Basically, it's gone past Fleming. The ball's gone past Fleming. He didn't make enough connection with it. He's been subbed now as well. Luke 09 got his leg to the ball, but he's also wrapped his left leg in front of Fleming, which could obstruct him. So it's Sarmiento coming on for Fleming as Isidor looks like he's getting up and he's going to be fine. Do you agree with Wilder's transfer strategy, mostly looking at UK-based players? Seems like the foreign market is much better value for players coming in for 100k than getting sold for millions, says Josh. It may change, Josh, to be honest. And look, I personally think Wilder likes to utilise his connections within the game, and he's got loads in the domestic game, absolutely loads at all levels. So he can find out all he needs to know about a player through word of mouth. And you know, what's he like as a character? Can I trust him? Will he fit in well with my group? All that sort of stuff. So he can do a lot of the checks that you wouldn't be able to do on an unknown foreign purchase. But he has also said that we're moving to a more data-driven model and sort of a hybrid approach with the scouts on the recruitment team and the data-driven approach. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see more, particularly when we get promoted and we need to maximize the money available. I won't be surprised to see some foreign players coming in. I also think he inherited Anel and Vinny Souza, and they have been brilliant for us this season. So it's proof that signing players from abroad can work. And it's also proven that Chris Wilder can manage foreign players, because I think that were a little bit of a sort of criticism of him previously, that we were Brexit FC and he liked to have the best of British. Well, he's proven that he can work with players from anywhere. So I think that'll change, Josh, even though that has been the norm. Ooh, will we do a Forest if we go up? No, we won't. I know it's the unknown, but that's highly unlikely. How come in the Platinum chat you have to request to join now as the security changed? Yes, we have changed the security, Sam, just to make sure that the right people are joining the group. It's a protected group. There's a lot of information that goes flying around in there. But obviously, if you've signed up like you have, then you've access to it. It's part of how you support the channel. Are you going to Derby away? No, I'm not going to Derby away. I'm not going to Derby away. I'll be doing a watch along if it's available on telly. But I won't be going, pal. Surely a pen, says Rick. I thought so in real time, but I'm not sure now watching it back. It would be a referee. Imagine the meltdown across the town. What a time to be a Blade. I know. Don't forget, Jim, when you do the view from Coventry, it's Sophie, not Matt, we want for her in-depth knowledge of the game. You're disgraceful, Dublin Blade. Honestly, you are disgraceful. Jimmy buys all subscribers. I'm skipping past that. So make sure you subscribe and tap him up for your next pint. Last time I buy you a pint, Lee. Oh, was that a penalty on 67 minutes, says David? You're behind me, David. Well behind me. No, I'm only kidding. You are joking. You are joking. Evening, Jimmy. Good evening, Rick. Hope you're well, pal. Oh, Josh coming in with another. Abdukadir Kuzanov came to Lons for 84k from the Uzbek League, and now City want him for 40 mil. There you go. There you go. Surely we've got 84k knocking about. The South American market is what everyone is looking at as value for money, says Danny. Is that a problem with work permits and stuff, though, still? I don't know whether Brexit makes it more difficult for us now as well with foreign market. Seems like Sheffield United are adopting AI way of transfers like Brentford, Brighton, and recently Sunderland are doing it. It's great, isn't it? It's great. Will you keep your ear out for me if you know of anyone selling a ticket for Derby, please, says Rye. Missed my chance, forgot all about it. Would be a bonus to sit next to a Rambler. Oh, right. Aren't you from Derby? Aren't you like Derby way, or you've got mates in Derby or something? I thought you were going to sit in home end. Oh, nightmare if you've missed your shout. Corner to Burnley anyway on 72 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, it's cleared, but it's dropped to Burnley on edge. No, it's cleared again. Burnley recycle it. Can they get it closer to goal? Out wide on the right. Crossed in deep. Patterson comes and can only palm it away. He's gone down injured, holding his head so that play stops. They're not daft, are they? Oh, no, he's up again. Here come Burnley again. Should have stayed down, Patterson. Pretending. Cross from Anthony. Blocked. Cross from deep, and it's too high, surely. No, it's knocked back across. Playing for a penalty again there, Foster, I think. Sarmiento with a couple of lollipops. Oh. Nice. Jaden Anthony again. Left foot strike this time. Straight to Patterson. Really boring game. This would be nice for this to end a draw. I've enjoyed it. No Pirro. I haven't minded it, to be fair. It's been pretty end-to-end. Don't mind it at all. You can enter a ballot for Derby, says Sam. That's my last resort, sitting in the home end, says Rye, but would rather sit in the away end if I can. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, that's where you want to be in it. I remember for Basham's arriving, I was sitting in Leeds hospitality, sitting on my hands, and we had a load of Leeds fans. Nightmare. Only ticket I could get, but it were a lovely experience. Pretty dangerous at times. Draw be the best result for us today, says Rick. Yeah, a draw would be the best result. I think that's fair to say. But again, we're not unhappy with anything, are we? Anyone who hasn't been able to get a ticket for Derby can enter a ballot. Burnley pressing well here, says Ray. Let's do a quick quick sub check. Because you're all 690 of you. There's 8. Oh, no. Trafford collects 1,089 in here, and there's only 690 subscribed to this channel. It's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. We're on a race to get to 1,000, and you could all get me there. I just subscribing on YouTube. Can you believe it? Trafford now. Liam in chat's just welcoming wrong Sam back to the chat. If Charles signed for the Blades, does he take Blaster's place in the starting lineup? Yes, he does, Danny, because Blaster's unavailable for season. So he's going to sign on loan, isn't he? So he fills that spot for me. Regarding incoming, I'm relaxed about it, says Ricky. Showing only 135 watching on YouTube, Jim. I know, mate. There's 958 watching on X. So it's getting him over to YouTube to click into it. Come on, guys and girls, get subscribing. Best channel bar none. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I like to think the main channel's the best one, but I get it. I get what you're saying. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Chris Rigg coming off now. And Mayenda's on. Mayenda. I'd like to tell you I know all about him, but I don't. Don't know out about him. I'd be telling you fibs. I would. Does Charles move in front of Davis and Peck in the middle of the park? Yeah, he signed for Southampton for 15 million quid from Man City. I think he does. But it's up in the quality level. We need to sign players that improve the 11. And at the very least, improve the 12 or the 13. So it'd be good to be able to bring Tom Davis on at 60 minutes, wouldn't it? Rather than have him start every game back to back to back. I know you do, Ray. I'm only joking, pal. Maury says, nice watching this watch along. See you later, Jimmy. All right, you're off then. And the chat, don't forget to like and subscribe. Costs nothing to subscribe unless you want to pay. Up the Ramble and like and subscribe. Thank you, Maury. Appreciate you joining us, pal. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Is it right what Liam said? He said we're having 2 tiers on the cop. Are you talking about in the chat? I don't know, to be honest. I haven't seen him put that, to be honest. But I haven't heard about 2 tiers on the cop, pal. Charles can play for the Pigs against Leeds tomorrow. Yeah, he can. He can. Birding Blade says subscribe, top channel. Thank you. Scarborough Blades. Scarborough Blades, nice. I'll be back Scarborough way in the caravan very soon. We've got a caravan at Primrose Valley for those that aren't aware, available to rent. Got to hustle, aren't you? Got to hustle. Got to work, otherwise hey mate, don't worry, I'm only joking. Are you going to Lane tomorrow? You'll have to let us know. Yeah, I know what you meant, mate. I know what you meant. 1,100 people now. 1,100 people. Brilliant. Thank you so much for all joining us. Whether you subscribe or not, I appreciate you all. Because we'll be watching anyway, won't we? So it's nice to watch it together. Oh, it's another good save. 694. Can we break 700 before end of game? Of course we can. Of course we can. 79 minutes, bang on. Who's coming on for Burnley? Right, Sunderland. Is it going to get nervy these last 10 minutes? They're going to start panicking in defence. Defo, mate. Silent Cop season ticket holder, says Maury. See you in Triple Point beforehand then, pal, if you want. Lee says, in my opinion, the 3 loans we have available should not be wasted on squad players. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. There should be players who are ready to impact the first 11 immediately. Otherwise, what's point? What's point in paying someone to come and sit on bench? I agree completely, Lee. They've got to be game changers, aren't they? Tom says, I'm in the ballot, but not hopeful of getting anything. I grew up down there, and my housemate at uni was a massive Derby fan. We always give each other stick, so I hope we pace them at Pride Park. Oh, well, best of luck to both of you. Sam says, I'm not sure when he said about it. He said something that he went on a tour on Boxing Day and that it had been mentioned. It's definitely been a message welcoming me back. The only one I've seen is that one Ian sent. No problem, pal. I wonder if Charles will pull a sickie after being labelled crap by the lunatic in charge of the S6 minnows. Absolutely ludicrous, Imini. Absolutely. I know we don't talk about him a lot on channel because there's no need, is there? But wow. He's a nutter. He is a nutter. You need to wind the telly up. You're 10 seconds behind now. Oh, no. I don't know how this keeps happening. We're fluctuating, aren't we? So 80 minutes and 39, 40, 41. It must be something to do with the stream speed, mustn't it? I bet you're sat at home and me and you are probably on the same time watching it on Sky. But there'll be a delay in the stream somewhere, won't there? I think probably. Some chat from the dark side saying Charles will be back with them. There's something, it's a weird clause in the loan that I think says he can stay with them. It's like a 7-day notice period for the recall. So I think he's playing the next 2 games for them before he goes back, which is weird. Weird. So Chris Mepham is down getting treatment and Dan Ballard's warming up. And then it looks like a double sub for Burnley. So the new player, new lad signed, Sonner, I think. Hey, Josh Brownhill's coming off. Oh, big move that. I think he's their best player. Josh Brownhill's coming off. Brownhill and Connor Roberts have gone off. And Koleosho, who's a good player. And Son, who I don't know anything about. Sonner, however you pronounce it. But Koleosho's a dangerous player. I just think, would you bring Josh Brownhill off? Who's been their best player, I think, this season? I'd love to sign Josh Brownhill. Would love to sign him. If we go up and they don't, surely he's on the list. He's out of contract to end of season. Linked with West Ham this window, actually. I wonder what Chansiri said about Lowe probably gets a crate of tuna fish as part of his bonus. It's the only time living in Cornwall we're ahead of anything. And Brownhill and Roberts off, big call. I know, Ian. I agree. I like Roberts as well. He's very busy, isn't he? A very busy player. Works hard. Okay, we're on 82 minutes and 56, 57, 58. Cleared by Sunderland. Mayenda. Wiggled away. Oh, it's a penalty. That's a definite penalty. Penalty to Sunderland. Yeah, Egan Riley, 100%. And he's got a yellow card and he's lucky. That must be double jeopardy because he was last man. They've got to score here. It's a stonewall penalty. Winger, is it Mayenda? Does really well. Cuts inside, does the left back completely. It's a lovely through ball for Isidore, who's between the centre halves again. And Egan Riley, in real time, I thought he tripped him. And now, looking at that angle, it looks like he's just thrown himself. Oh, no, he's tripped him. He's flicked his right foot behind his left. And he's gone down. The commentary team are saying it's contacts outside the box, but it's been given as a penalty. It's fallen well inside. Oh, ref's going over to have a chat with somebody. Pen. Thanks, lads. It's the time difference in West Yorkshire. You probably get jet lag coming and going from Sheffield. Probably. Ian thought it were a dive. Ollie says outside the box. Yeah, it looked outside the box when, and David says defo outside the box. Jimmy says, Andy the Blade. Hello, father. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. See you tomorrow. Have we got a time for tomorrow? Fell over his own feet, says Danny. He were tripped. It were definitely tripped, but it's outside box. He's given a pen, says Sam. Bit of drama to round things off, I guess. Trafford now had taken his gloves off and he's putting his gloves back on. Interesting. You've got to book him for that, ref. That is clever, but it's time wasting. Right, Isidore stands over the ball. Martin says he's almost 3 minutes in front, so he's not going to spoil it for us. Thank you, pal. Yeah, he's had to stand waiting for Trafford. Isidore, good player. Can he score? Saved! Good save. I tell you what, that were dodgy front keeper, that. Fair play. You'd love it if he were your keeper. So we can't. It's gamesmanship, isn't it? But referee's got to have better control of that. Well done. And that probably keeps best result for us on the cards, doesn't it? So it's not a bad penalty. It's not a great pen, but it's not a bad penalty. Trafford's just gone right way. He's stepped to the right-hand side. He's fired it. Isidore's fired it low towards the left corner. It's not quite in the corner, but it's very hard. But Trafford's done a little like bunny hop to the right, and then he just needs to crouch down to the right-hand side to stop it, and he's done it. Fair play. Wow. Subscribe, everyone, says Ricky. Thank you, pal. Appreciate that. Wow, says Tom. Agreed. Saved it. Saved, says Danny, says Ray. Imagine planning your family day via the YouTube comments. Well, it's only time he talks to me, to be honest. Josh, he don't pick up his phone to his son or anything. I'm only joking, he does. Trafford's gone by end at window, says Danny. Maybe that puts him in. Well, he's already got interest around him, hasn't he? Lafay. Yeah, yellow card. We want the draw, says Ray. Yeah. Canada has scored, says Ollie. Nice. This is a good result for us so far, says Sam. It is. Leeds keeper wouldn't have saved that penalty, says Michael. No, probably not. You see, you can't say anybody would definitely have saved a pen, could you? Decent save, to be fair. 1,134 people. Oh, header from Burnley from a free kick. Now it's a goal kick. Yeah, 1,138. Let's do a quick subscriber check. 699. Come on. 699. We've got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes, 24 seconds. They're just saying on commentary that he had to wait. Oh, hang on. They went crazy on commentary then and had to cut replay short, but they didn't make it in time. What do I reckon for tomorrow, says Jord? I reckon 2-0 Blades. I'm confident tomorrow. It might be optimistic, but I think, I'd like to think that we're confident again, we're fit again. We might not have everybody back that we wanted, but we get in there. And I think the Watford result is huge. Newcastle are keen on Trafford, says Michael. Yeah, it's a throw-in, and Burnley had it clear. It's another Sunderland throw. I hope we can, Danny. We can hope, Danny. We can hope. And that is in regards to Trafford being gone by the end of the window. He'd have punched it, meaning Leeds keeper. Right, Sunderland. Oh, Burnley have just about cleared it, and it's a Burnley throw. No one's paying 20 mil for Trafford, especially if they can wait till summer to see if they go up or not, says Scott. Good point. I think we win 3-0 tomorrow, says Sam. Draw's the best outcome, says June. I agree with that. I agree. 10 a.m. at Sheffield Tap Gym. I'll keep you a seat spare. I'll tell you what. No, to be honest, I'll be at Ags Hill. I'll be watching my daughter playing football at that time. So she's kicking off at 9:30. She'll be done for just after 10:30, I think. So we'll be straight back, and I'll be waiting for Dave the Blade to come and pick us up. Which player from Wilder's first spell would you have back? Oh, yeah, Jack O'Connell. Jack O'Connell will be perfect next to an L. Yeah, he's the one I'd take. Jack O'Connell. First answer. Sticking to it. Final answer. Trafford playing football. Pooh Housery, says David. Absolutely. The score remains the same. The Blades will be top by tomorrow evening. If we win, Michael, if we win. Sunderland free kick. Deep into, well, just over halfway. He's played it short. It's gone down the left. Cross into the box. Scooped well over the bar from Isidore. Why did he not bring these boots when he played Sheffield United? I know I'm going against the grain, but I hope Leeds pace them minnows. That's not against the grain, pal. It's not against the grain at all. I think you won't be the only one. Jesus, did you just see Park with all that hair gel and fake tan on? It reminds me of a greasy chip butty. He does like himself a bit, doesn't he, Scotty Parker? Billy Sharp. You take Billy Sharp, would you, June? Nobody would complain at that. He scores goals, doesn't he? Replay shows it's definitely outside. Yeah. Is that how far behind you are, David? Excuse me. Sunderland missed a penalty at Bramall Lane and Turf Moor. Defining moments in the season, do you think? They're the sort of stuff that you look back on at the end of the season and you think, that might have been it. That might have been when. 3-0, Hamer, Campbell and Brooksy to score. That's very accurate, very sort of precise, Jordan. Sunderland coming forward. Shot cleared. We're in the 91st minute and 43, 44 of 6 minutes added. Crossed in from Sunderland. 6-yard scramble. Oh! Mayenda. I think it's going to be a corner, but what a chance that is. So they get to the byline, they cross it across the box. There's a scramble on 6-yard line. It drops to Mayenda, and it looks like he just knocks it past the near post. No, they're saying save. It's celebrating like a save. So we'll see it. Oh, it's CJ Egan Riley with a block. Him who gave the penalty away with a great block to stop it going goal bound. Fair play. Fair play. He didn't miss it, Ray. He didn't miss it. I thought he did as well, pal, but it's a brilliant block from the defender. Watch here. It shows it in slow-mo. Well done. Well done. I thought same, Ollie. I thought same. Jock or a peak John Fleck? That's not a bad shout, Lee. That's not a bad shout at all. Any idea how much we could actually spend before breaching FFP? Imagine if it turns out we're much richer than first thought. Well, it's linked to your turnover, isn't it? So, and how much you bring in. And because we've got parachute payments, you'd assume that we've got a considerable amount that we're able to spend. And we brought in a lot. Are we 31 million gained net as well this season in terms of the sales that we've made? But he does wear them $4,000 coats as well, Parker. Yeah, he does. He does. Agreed. Block. Yeah, it's a great block, isn't it? It's a great block. I honestly think we could beat Burnley at their place. They look so nervous playing at home, making so many little mistakes. Let's hope so, Danny. I hope you're right, pal. 10 goals for Sharp this season so far, says Ricky, in League Two. But yeah, Billy Sharp, absolute legend of the club. Sunderland again, left-hand side now. Another penalty. He's given a penalty. He's given another penalty to Sunderland here. I'm not joking. So, yeah. Oh, it is, you know. Sirkin down the left. Yeah, he's taking him out. Oh, he's going to kick off here. Oh, it's kicking off here. Trafford's on the floor, making out like he's been pushed over. Oh no, he's got cramp. He's got cramp. So Trafford's gonna time waste here. Oh my goodness me. Let's get through these comments because before penalty comes, it's all kicking off. I want to watch this. Sunderland bidding 20 million after Isidore penalty miss, says Bobby. I saw that in the comments. You've nicked that. You've nicked that. It might have been yours, to be honest. Oh, it was yours. Apologies, Bob. Apologies. Apologies. I've got the chat up here, the platinum chat as well. Top man. I'll let you have that. Apologies. Rice says, how's that not gone in? Wow, very good game. These two solid, well-coached teams cancelling each other out. Top two race is going to be very tight. 4 very good teams. Sharp is not top championship level. No, nobody thinks he is, Saint, to be honest. Burnley are more effective away from home. I think the Blades could get a result at Turf Moor with the quality of players they have. Hope so, pal. I take Sander Berger personally. Not that well. He weren't in Wilder's first stint. Selling will have helped. Penalty, another penalty. I think, should we think Crystal Palace or Burnley about this consortium? Think Newcastle. No, I'm only joking, Sam. Who to? It's to Sunderland. And Isidore's going to step up again. Do you think Bash will ever get that testimonial? I don't, actually, Josh. I wish he did. They are fighting. Crazy way he slid in. Sunderland deserved this 100%. Trafford's got cramp. He's now been booked. He hasn't run anywhere. It's all kicking off at Turf Moor as Isidore steps up to take the pen. Just got to the end of the comments. Come on! 96 minutes. We're past the end of time. Can he score? Second time lucky. Saved again. Saved again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, if Sunderland fall away, this will be same side he went to. Went for power again. It went right in the corner. Trafford gets down well, strong right hand, pushes it away. Fair play to the lad. Fair play. Regis Labrie crumbles. Corner to Sunderland. It's deep, too deep, surely. Headed back across. High foot. How can people not be enjoying this game? I've seen a couple of boring game comments. Such drama. Love it. How can you not like football? Oh. I tell you what, Trafford saving 2 pens puts him well in the shop window. I don't care what anybody says. That's well in shop window. If Sunderland fall away now, this was the moment. They'll say they missed 2 pens against Burnley. They missed a pen against us. If Burnley get promoted, they'll look back to this game, won't they? Push. It's a blatant push. He's going to blow a whistle any second. Isidore looks crushed. And that can only be a good thing for us as well, let's be honest. Again, says Tom, I know. Cannon had scored. Agree, Ollie. Agree. Don't say that. They might be signing Tom Cannon now. They might up it to, like Bobby says, up it to 20 million. Saved again. That's unbelievable. This has to be so demoralising for Sunderland. Absolutely right, Tom. Thank God, says June. Just what we wanted, a draw. Now we've got to do the business. It's not quite over yet, I don't think. No, it's not. Ashley Barnes is coming on. Incoming 25 million bid for Cannon from Sunderland. Yeah, nice. Bobby's joke. I'll give Bobby his credit. It was Bob's joke. And Moore would have scored that. He's got a hernia. Cut the guy some slack. Gamesmanship at its best. Trafford is a genius going down like he did. Josh, we would love it if it were our keeper, wouldn't we? That housery. Best result for us? Yeah, I think so, pal. My word, says Rye. Fair play, Trafford. Top class. Won't be going to Burnley this season after the trauma of last season, says GT. Has he been taking pen tips from Moore? Harsh. Moore's got a hernia. My word, this goalkeeper, man of the match, says Jim. Absolutely right. Would be demoralising if it were us. It would, absolutely. 30 mil for Cannon now. And that's the final whistle. And Isidore falls to the ground, puts his shirt over his face, and looks like he's roaring, to be honest. I had a Sunderland fan tell me earlier on X that Isidore was comfortably better than Cannon. Can't wait to pick up that conversation. And can't wait to see the highlights for this one. Honestly, mate, I think it's been really enjoyable. Trafford and Cooper, best keepers in the league by a country mile. Completely agree. Completely agree. Game over. Yeah, full time. Good draw, says Ian. Right. I think after leaving the house at 6:30 this morning, in fact, before that, we're about 6:15. I left the house. Got in at 7:15. Mrs. Ramble had already gone out. I best go back in and see it. Oh, he is. He's crying. He's old Isidore. Everybody's consoling him. Missed 2 penalties. So I feel for the lad. I do, because he looks like a great player. Played really well against us. But from a rival's point of view, he's good. It's awful to see, and it does. You don't ever like to see somebody upset like that. But Trafford in background laughing. That were a good camera shot, to be honest. Cracking game. Mardy Labrie will be worth a watch. Incoming Leeds 30 million bid for Trafford. Yeah, absolutely. He's heartbroken. Yeah, he is. Best result for the Blades, says John Asquith. Absolutely right, John. Hope you're well, mate. Triple point tomorrow if you're about. It's going to knock his confidence. It's got to do, hasn't it? It's got to do. He's crying. He's crying as they're pulling him off pitch. Oh, it is good for Sheffield United, but it's not nice to see. It's not nice to see. They're chanting for him at Sunderland end. That's nice. That's nice. Great game. See you next time. You will, Jim. You will, mate. Takes guts to take the second pen. Fair play to him for having the bottle. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Remember that when we're talking about Kiefer as well. See you there, chick. Good to see. Thank you, coach. Much appreciated, pal. Be good to see you. Poor from Isidore. His confidence is on the floor with Cannon and Moore. We're coming back up once more. Poet, and you didn't know it, Bob. And on that note, let's just see. Let's do a final check. Have we hit the magic 700? Got to have done, haven't we? We're 1 away. 703. That'll do for me tonight. Even though there's 1,226 of you in here that can't do me the huge solid of coming and subscribing to my new channel. Oh, come on, help us out. I'm going to wake up to 1,000 tomorrow, Anna, because you're all going to do me a huge favor, and I'll love you forever. Won't be taking the next pen, though. No, I probably will. Well, I don't know. I don't know. In TP tomorrow? Yes, Mark, we are in TP, pal. Hope to see you there if you're about. Shows how the game can be brutal. It does, Ray. You're right. Great watch along, Jimmy. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Ian. We've got to make this opportunity count tomorrow. Yes, we have. We've got to do our bit, Danny. That's what it's all about, pal. All about. Great result for us. He's a professional footballer. Get on with it, man. Harsh. So harsh. Brilliant that from Sunderland fans. Isidore might have missed 2 pens, but he's some talent, big future. I agree, right? I agree. Thanks, Jimmy. Great watch along as usual. Thank you, David. Appreciate your company as always. 100% I'd take Bash, says Nige, for the player tech from Wild. Good question, that. From I can't remember who asked it. Apologies. But who would you take from Wilder's first stint in this team? Great result, great watch along, great host. Oh, thank you, mate. I'm off to watch The Traitors. Yes, no spoilers. No spoilers. I'm going to watch that now. I'm off to watch The Traitors, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Villa agreed to loan Kyle Walker for the rest of the season. What have they? All right, okay. This is getting crazy. We're getting sidetracked. The Saint says, great stream, Jimmy. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for watching along with us. It's very much appreciated. I'll be back for 90 after 90 on the main channel after the Norwich game tomorrow. So hopefully see you all there. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards tomorrow. 3 points. Up the Blade!